Yo, my Amazon package is 10 stops away. I'm back, by the way, guys. It's 10 stops away. That's what it says. That's what my shit says. So I'm gonna just wait. I'm dead ass just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait it out. Did I just grab? Oh my god. I did. I refilled my fridge with drinks earlier, and I just grabbed fucking like 2 cold ones that I already like put in recently, and there was like a colder one right behind it. And the first one I grabbed, salute. The first one I grabbed was like normal, and then I was like, wait, let me just grab a colder one, and then I grabbed one, and I was like, this is the exact same one I put in at the same time.
Hotel room in Dubai. And then after they come straight, get ready for work. And my oldest son is 6 years old at the time. He's sitting on the floor next to me watching me.
Alright, fine. Let's play one game. Please be a back, guys. Please be a back, guys. Fuck! We got a green. Dude, it's always a green. What the fuck is this shitty ass charm, dude? No, I'm not equipping that. I don't even know what that was. Fuck. Yo, this burger mad good, bro. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. That's, dude, these guys are setting up like fucking idiots, dude. Like, actually. Four v9, bro. I got shit on. Battle ram. What the fuck, dude? I want to see this. Did I down somebody? No, I just hit him. Oh my god. It's gonna fucking suck, dude. Ah, brother. Yeah, this game was for Gits and Shiggles, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We're just waiting on my delivery, dude. 7 stops away. Like, why is it actually so fucking slow, dude? Why is it so fucking slow? The fuck are you doing, dude? Let me fucking eat shit, dude. I'm assuming you have to wait till 55, 54, and then you turn like this. The hell? This just gives aura out of it. He's on the roof, he's on the roof, he's on the roof, he's on the roof! Fuck! Trying to say something. Oh, it's because I'm in party chat. Never mind, I'm not in party chat. The fuck? Gotta trust, bro. You gotta trust. Is he muted? I don't know why I don't hear him. Bam, bam, bam. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Bam, bam, bam. Bro, why he acting like I just didn't get it off last time? Like, I literally got in, killed 2 people immediately, fucking planted, killed the last guy. Like, come on. Hand me defuse, bro. Hand me defuse. Swear to God if you don't, bro. He's not dropping it, too. Alright, bro. Alright, bro. Ah. There's no, I want to see this, I want to see this. That's crazy, dude. Why is he on the bottom of the stairs, too? And he killed someone else. I want to see this. I want to see this guy get this off. Probably type in the chat. Low Kurt Kenuley. Oh, I gotta go pick up my package. Hey, Sibby. Water. Huh? Mi papá y este mío. Mío. ¿Ah? Hey, bud. I love rage baiting my dog. Still playing this, dude. Dog, get me in there, bro. Get me in there. Genuinely. Let me guess, they won? Did they win? Yeah, they did. Yo, my package came in. Package came in. Been waiting for these damn cables, bro. Swear to God. I gotta... Alright, we got that in. Now we gotta get this in to this monitor. We got my cable, guys. Told ya. Can't fucking see. You're lying, bro. You're bullshitting with me. Bro, hold up, wait. You're holding me, bro. It's VGA. You're holding me, bro. Oh my fuck. Oh my fuck. Dude, it's VGA. I don't even have VGA, bro. I don't even have VGA if I want it, bro. Let's get in there, bro. What the fuck? I didn't even get the fucking right cable, dude, for my shit. Alright, well. GG's, bro. Hold up, wait. I'm gonna just switch this over real quick. Just switch it over. Some slay shit. I hate how I always have to set this up, bro. Alright, now we're on reacts, bro. Oh, wait. I had to fix this real quick. Hold on, wait. Scenes. Damn. Okay. Now, I think it's desktop. Yeah. Alright. We got a couple of videos here that we're about to react to. Alright. We have why Putin is almost impossible to kill. I survived alone in the Amazon rainforest for 4 days. Burglars accidentally solve multiple murders. The Peter Pan stalker, and the unsolved murder in room 1046. All right, I'm gonna just put this highest quality if I can. All right. Why Putin is almost impossible to kill. Talking.
Vladimir Putin has a lot of enemies. So how does he protect himself? In this video, we'll look at 4 of the Kremlin's security measures. A rolling fortress, orchestrated chaos in the skies, a ghost train straight out of a James Bond movie, and sophisticated deception tactics. Together, they tell a story about the Russian state and its increasingly paranoid leader. Since 2000, Vladimir Putin has spent most of his time here in Nova Ogaryovo. But the Russian president also often stays at this luxury residence in Valdai. And he's believed to own this opulent estate in Crimea, a summer residence in Sochi, and a palace at Kp-Dokopassk.
How many houses does this guy fucking have?
To move between these locations or attend state visits, Putin needs to travel. And that's when he's most vulnerable. He's protected around the clock by both visible and covert security forces. But the Kremlin relies on one thing above all: unpredictability. This is Putin's car, an Oris Senat limousine. The interior is fitted with luxury features, genuine leather, plush seating, and a minibar. But more importantly, it's a fortress on wheels. Imagine this. Putin is on his way to Moscow. Suddenly, a group of attackers opens fire. But the limo is heavily armored, designed to withstand high-caliber rounds and reportedly even armor-piercing ammunition. Their bullets have no effect, so the attackers throw a hand grenade. Even then, the limo stays intact and barrels forward as if nothing happened. The fuel tank is fortified against explosions. The tires are fire-resistant and reinforced. Even if all four were destroyed, the car could keep on driving. The limo is incredibly heavy, 6.5 tons, but it's surprisingly fast. It's powered by a 4.4-liter V8 twin-turbo engine supported by a hybrid powertrain. In an emergency, it can accelerate to 100 kilometers an hour in 12 seconds and reach top speeds of up to 170. The cabin has its own air filtration system, so even a gas attack probably wouldn't have an effect. There's an emergency exit, too. Putin's limo is extremely secure, but for longer distances, he prefers another means of transport. Putin is flying to North Korea for a state visit. He's on board an Ilyushin IL-96. The model was developed in the Soviet Union back in the 1980s. Technically, it's considered outdated. The long-haul jet still has 4 engines. But Putin continues to rely on it. His customized version is known as the Flying Kremlin, and it's equipped for maximum comfort. The presidential jet is stocked with a king-size bed, a conference room, a dining area, and a personalized gym.
Bro, isn't this like a map on like R6? I'm not tripping.
Even at 10,000 meters, security remains the top priority. The Flying Kremlin reportedly has its own advanced communications array, missile defense system, and emergency escape pod. When necessary, it's escorted by fighter jets. But that's not all. Intelligence reports also suggest that Putin is so paranoid that he's constantly accompanied by a team of personal doctors. Most of us can't relate. Half of us haven't even booked a dentist appointment in years, but we keep meaning to.
Where is this an ad?
You go once, you keep telling yourself you'll book the next one before you back to it. The Flying Kremlin is said to be just one of 4 identical presidential planes. Whenever Putin flies abroad on official business, the 3 clone aircraft also take off. They all follow different routes, making it difficult to track Putin's exact movements. But even this
What happens if they just like collide with each other?
elaborate tactic has a weakness.
It's relatively easy to track an airplane, right?
This is Russian investigative journalist Ilya Rozhdestvensky. Living in exile, he works with the Dossier Center, a nonprofit investigative project.
There are dozens of websites like Flightradar and all these sort of things that provide data on different airplanes.
Technically, each of these aircraft can be tracked and located, which means that in theory, a powerful adversary could target all 4 at once, which is exactly why Putin prefers his train. If you saw this train moving through Russia, you'd barely notice it.
It looks like a normal Russian train, gray with red stripes. There is probably very little chance that you would recognize it if you see it somewhere.
Look closer, and you notice a few oddities, like multiple diesel locomotives at the front of the train, and this small dome on the roof.
For the special communications, and that's probably it. That's the only thing that is different from the normal train.
It isn't a secret that Putin has his own special train. The Kremlin has even released images from its onboard conference room. But for a long time, no one knew what the rest of the train looked like. Until the Dossier Center released some highly confidential documents. These were allegedly leaked by an insider at Sircon Service, a Russian company specializing in manufacturing custom railway cars. The Kremlin allegedly tasked Sircon Service with building the cars for the presidential train.
It's not a very big business. There are not too many people who really want to spend their money to build a custom train.
According to the leaks, the train is heavily armored and bulletproof.
Yo, how much money do you think this would actually like cost somebody? Like genuinely. Like, if you actually spent that much money on this, how much money do you think you're wasting? I feel like it's probably like at least 100K. It's heavily armored, bulletproof. It probably has a bunch of commodities in it. Like I'm talking like a bedroom, gym, bathroom, a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Food services. And I don't know if there's people working in it. There's definitely a conductor. I don't know about other people working in it though.
That makes it so heavy that each car needs 6 axles rather than the standard 4.
Inside, wow, it's
This is what I'm talking about. Like there's shit like this. There's just furniture like this.
luxurious. It's really something incredible. This train provides Putin with anything he could possibly need. There's a car where he can sleep, there's a car for work, there's a restaurant car.
Wouldn't it be dangerous though to travel from car to car? Isn't that like slightly dangerous that like he's traversing in between? Like it's an unlikely thing to happen that like he gets shot or something in between, but I mean like it's possible.
One car is even said to house a fully equipped gym and a beauty salon soundproofed to prevent audio surveillance, complete with a massage table and a radio frequency machine designed to keep the skin firm. The Kremlin denies that Putin has ever used or owned a train car like this. Finally, there's a tiled spa area featuring a full Turkish steam bath and shower. Ilya says the ghost train doesn't appear on official timetables.
There is no way to track this train. If you work with a Russian railway company, you can still find some data about this train, but you need some special access to the internal infrastructure. So there is no way for normal people to understand that some special train is moving.
It simply speeds toward its destination, blowing right past any stations along the way. Apparently, it often does so on its own secret train tracks, which terminate at private train stations built just for Putin.
There are a couple of stations that they were built specifically for Vladimir Putin. So basically they are near his palaces, official residences.
Oh fuck. Over here sneezing, bro. Goodness. What am I? Oh fuck. Yo, my bad, chat. Oh damn. Yeah, my bad. Alright, we're locked them.
They were built specifically for Vladimir Putin. So basically they are near his palaces, official residences, houses. So I think there are like at least 3 of them. We know about one in Turkey, where his official residence is located, Bocherov Rучей. One is not far from Moscow, in Novogorova. It's probably one of his main official residence. And the third one is in Valdai. That's his main place. That's where he and his family spend most of the year.
So at any given time, it's hard to say which of his official residences Putin is at. There's another meeting scheduled for today. Lately, Putin's been holding more video calls and making more addresses from the presidential office in Novogorova, especially since Russia invaded Ukraine.
Дамы и господа, почти 8 лет самыми варварскими методами нелегитимные решения по так называемой заморозке российских активов.
Many of these are recorded and released to the public. For Russians, the office in the presidential residence is instantly recognizable. The room, the table, the background. But wait. In footage of Putin's office, investigative journalists have noticed something peculiar. Take a look at this door handle, and then at these two. Notice how they're not the same height? The thermostat is also positioned slightly differently. Here it's centered, but here it's placed slightly to the left. In this one, it's slightly lower. The wall panels behind Putin are also arranged in slightly different ways.
So what, he has like 3 sets, and whichever one is closest, he just goes over there and films from there?
Other details, like the vents and the TV stands, are also inconsistent.
It's AI.
It appears that Putin has had near identical replicas of his office built in his residences in Valdai and Sochi.
The idea behind this is that Vladimir Putin prefers to stay, I would say, silent, probably. So he makes it look like he's in his official residence in Nova Gazela, and he records some video and makes some statements. And there is also some part of the statement where it's said that it's all happening in Nova Gazela, for instance. In fact, he could be anywhere. He really wants that only a limited amount of people knows exactly where he is.
If no one knows his real location, he's impossible to target. Still, reports suggest that since attacking Ukraine, Putin has been staying clear of his Sochi summer residence, out of concern over potential Ukrainian drone strikes. Reports even claim he's had the villa torn down. Putin seems to be growing increasingly paranoid. Maybe that has to do with his time as a KGB agent in East Germany. His work as a spy and the collapse of the GDR may have shaped his distrust of civil society and his fear of popular uprisings. To this day, he surrounds himself with an inner circle of former KGB associates. Or maybe he's aware of the hostility he attracts as the autocratic leader of a corrupt oligarchy waging a brutal war of aggression. Or maybe it's the idea that his political opponents are actively plotting to overthrow him, a notion Putin's own intelligence services often encourage. Or maybe it's that Ukrainian intelligence services operate deep behind enemy lines, and Ukrainian drones are a growing threat. Putin seems afraid. Afraid of attacks, of betrayal, and of losing control. More than ever, he seems to be isolating himself.
A lot of people would like to kill him. So there is some strong proof that probably he should care about his security.
During meetings, long tables keep his guests several meters away from him. His meals
I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to commentate. There's really not much to commentate. This guy is just, the pace is really just going through it.
are prepared by personal chefs who use only ingredients they provide themselves. Before being served, each meal is tested for poison in a portable lab. When he travels abroad, Putin's bodyguards reportedly even collect his excrement, then take it back to Russia with them to prevent foreign powers from gathering intel on his health.
You can't just have this meeting with him and tell him everything he needs and discuss with him. He's not just a regular president of a regular country, right? He prefers to micromanage everything, and he believes that one of his resources, crucial resource for his power, is that he's the only one who makes all the decisions. So that is why the people who has an access to him, they're more powerful. But the people that don't have this access, they don't have any power. And he is the source of this power. That's like his secret idea. Being isolated is one of the key elements of his president.
According to Ukraine's former head of military intelligence, Putin has no less than 3 body doubles.
Holy shit.
These men are said to have undergone plastic surgery to look just like him. Apparently, the only thing giving them away is their height, their body language, and their earlobes. The Kremlin denies these claims.
2 years ago, we had an interview with Gleb Karakolov. He was an officer and he was working in the security service, which is called Federal Guard Service. They provide protection for Russian president. He told us in this interview that, well, actually, there is no double, like a real double, but there was some kind of a cover operations. Colleagues of Karakolov, they took an airplane, they took the car, they put it someone who looked kind of like Vladimir Putin, and
So he's like taking 3 different routes, putting multiple people in them, because people are finding out these routes. That's essentially what I'm picking up.
they made sure that everybody could see that the car goes to the plane, somebody leaves the car, goes to the airplane, and then this plane flies somewhere, for instance, to Moscow. But the real Vladimir Putin stays in Sochi and he does whatever he wants.
With or without doppelgangers, Putin operates within a system of maximum security. He travels in one of the most secure cars on the planet and moves along secret routes. He rides a ghost train and addresses the public from identical replicas of his office. And yet it seems like there's one thing all these measures just can't give him: a sense of safety.
Damn. That'll be video, though. That'll be video. All right. Next one. I survived alone in the Amazon rainforest for 4 days. Lock in.
For the next 72 hours, I'm going to be living here in the Amazon rainforest.
This video is not fake. I'm literally getting dropped off
72 hours is 3 days.
and left on my own for 4 days and 3 nights.
Am I tripping? 24, 48, 73, yeah.
Having to survive in a jungle which doesn't want me there.
What the fuck?
This was the scariest and toughest 3 days of my life.
I am so hungry.
And it probably makes you wonder, why on earth, Joe, are you doing this?
Well, I believe that the best way to conquer a fear is to challenge it face on.
Fucking.
And I'm a pussy when it comes to creatures. I'm awful. Like, even the sea, I've always been way too afraid to go in because I just don't know what's down there.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm really scared of the ocean.
So, to face these fears, I'm heading to the one place on Earth that truly frightens me. The place that has the most dangerous creatures on the planet. I'm traveling over 50 hours.
You get off the plane and you just walk straight out onto the street.
Through harsh terrain to get deep into the Amazon rainforest.
I feel like there's just a better way to conquer this fear, you know what I mean? Could have just, like, gone on an island, fucking go into a Mr. Beast video, but no, you decide to do the most dangerous fucking shit.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This place is like my worst nightmare.
I paid this local to drop me off and pick me up in exactly 72 hours from this same spot.
Well, I'm well and truly alone now, stuck here until he comes back.
I made my way through the forest to try and find a place to set up camp.
That guy just fucking, like, oversleeps the day of. Wait, is that... Is that why it says 4 days? Is that actually what's about to happen?
Looks like a giant wasp nest. Stay away from that.
You really don't know what's watching you in this forest, which is a very unsettling feeling.
Okay, this is where I think I'm gonna set up the camp. It doesn't look like much yet, but that's better. You see there are 4 trees. The idea is to essentially build a roof from one tree to the other, build a bed underneath that roof and a fire underneath.
Yes, this is a full-on survival video. I only have access to my machete, a spare top, a cup, a knife, some basic fishing equipment, and a flint and steel. Oh, and of course some camera equipment.
The rain is fucking crazy here, so the roof is so important. Let's get materials.
Watch all those trees just be fucking poisonous, dude. Like every single one that he's cutting down, the sap comes down, the poisonous sap.
Now, another problem with the Amazon is it's incredibly hot and humid, and it just makes everything 10 times harder.
This is fucking tiring.
I was going at this for hours, machete,
I'd be back.
taking to camp, dropping off, over and over again.
That takes it out of you. It is flipping humid here. I think I've got the materials now. Let's build this thing.
I first put 2 Y sticks against 2 trees, and then a stick going perpendicular to that.
This should hold my weight now. Oh, mission success.
And then did the exact same thing on the other side of the tree, and then I added tons of long sticks to make the base of the roof.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Boom, we've got a foundation for the roof. Now I need to chuck loads of leaves on top to stop rain coming through it.
And literally just as I was finishing up the roof,
It has just started absolutely chucking it down. I don't feel a drop of water on me right now. So, the roof is a success.
I've made sure that the roof is tilted.
What if he just gets muddy, dude? Like I feel like rain probably isn't hitting on him, but it's gonna hit on everything else, and it's just gonna make his fucking fort muddy.
So when the heavy rainfall comes in, it just flows right off. Now sitting on the floor like this is incredibly stupid of me, because this is exactly where the vast majority of these venomous creatures live, including the bullet ants, which has been recorded to have the most painful sting on the planet. So that's why I needed to build a bed badly, but honestly the rainforest takes it out of you. I was knackered, but I had to get it done by tonight.
Fuck, man. Just there. Ow. Ow, that
Something stunned me as I was gathering materials for my bed.
fuck, man. Just there. Ow. Ow, that really stings.
Luckily, whatever stung me, it didn't last too long, so I knew it wasn't life-threatening. Now for the bed, I used bamboo sticks, because they're quite flexible, but I had no idea if they'd hold my weight.
Okay, moment of truth.
I'd worry about the metal sticks.
It holds.
I had a fully functioning bed, which raised me off the ground.
Oh, so there's less chance of creatures crawling all over me in the night. Still a very high chance, but less. Now that took a lot longer than you probably think, like 7-8 hours. So I'm gonna chill, have a quick break, and then I need to sort out a fire.
Now as I was resting, the sun in the Amazon went down.
I have been for the last hour just getting an abundance of firewood. The issue we're facing is because it rained earlier, all of the wood is wet, so I don't know if it's gonna like start a fire. These mosquitoes, man, they're everywhere. That's why this fire is incredibly important.
Dude, he's gonna get fucking malaria, bro, and nobody's gonna be able to fucking save.
But just as I started making the fire,
Oh, fucking hell. Look what I've just spotted. Literally right by where I'm setting up the fire. As a kid, and my mum and dad can vouch for me on this, scorpions were my biggest fear. Oh, he's crawling into my wood now.
I waited for the scorpion to go and got to making the fire.
Come on.
I'd burn the motherfucker right there.
But the wood being wet made this really difficult. Watch when I put sticks on, how much it smokes and how much the flame disappears. Like the fire just wasn't catching.
These sticks are incredibly wet, which is the problem.
But I needed this fire to stop the mosquitoes, to boil water so I could drink, to cook food if I catch it. And me surviving relied on this.
Not seem to be catching properly. Ah, fuck.
But after a lot of patience and building the size of the sticks up, mission success.
Listen to this noise. That whistling sound is the water in the wood, but we've made it work just.
Now I needed to keep the fire going, so I collected loads more firewood, and then I collected some river water, boiled it up to remove the deadly parasites, and finally had my first drink since getting here. This was the first point where I genuinely just felt good, like I'd created my own base.
Yo, hot take, I feel like camping in the cold is much more easier than camping in like spring or summertime. Because you just don't have to worry about much shit. Like, maybe heat is your biggest problem, but other than that, you really don't have to worry about much in the cold.
In bed with a fire.
Like, genuinely, shelter and fire is all you need to worry about in the cold. And then in the heat, you need to worry about a shelter, fire, and then just any other fucking creature that's out there. You know what I mean?
I had water I could drink. For the first time, I could just chill out for a bit. But this is the Amazon.
Fucking hell. Holy fuck, look at this. Look at this. Can you see that?
A little friend had joined my base.
Oh my fucking god. There it is. That is massive. There is a massive snake crawling on the roof of my base right now.
There's a massive snake. Fucking huge, bro. Fucking big fucking wanker. Look at him.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
This is the snake striking and trying to bite me. And it was a very close
He was trying to bite some shit that was on top. What are you talking about?
call.
Slightly concerned because he's just lingering at the top of the tree. Like, when I go to sleep tonight, is he just gonna come down, bite me, and I'm dead?
I'll be real, after that I was pretty shook up. It has been a knackering day. Look at how sweaty my t-shirt is. Oh, that feels nice. I am just an absolute dirty, sweaty state right now. I'm so tempted to go bathe in that river, but then the other 9/10 of me is saying, fuck that. I have no idea what is lurking under there. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get some sleep. So with that said, I will hopefully, if I don't get killed, see you all tomorrow.
That isn't sound effects. What the fuck is that?
It was incredibly difficult to sleep. I mean, it was so humid. I just kept...
Plot twist, the guy on the boat just never left. And he's just fucking with him, like, across the fucking pond or river.
Hearing rustling in the bushes. And every hour I had to wake up to make sure the fire didn't go out. But I did manage to get a few hours. Good morning, people. It's bright and early. I didn't get the greatest sleep last night. I got about 4 hours in total. Right now, I'm gonna collect some more firewood, get some water, and then I need to think about food because I didn't eat anything yesterday. These palm trees produce something called heart of palm. That little part in the middle is the food. Now these are basically just carb sticks. Ugh, it's not the greatest. But I'm not in a 5-star restaurant, I'm in the Amazon, and calories are calories. These are the next pieces of food. If you break inside them, there's some small worms, or grubs as they're known, which technically you can eat. Fucking hell. Oh my god, this is disgusting. But you know what? It actually tasted alright. Tastes like butter, to be fair. Now, the most important food and what's really gonna get me through.
Yo, y'all eating crickets in the forest for $10 million. Dude, I would... Realistically, how much money would you have to pay me to eat some crickets? Some, like live ones. I'm talking live ones. Like, you gotta kill that motherfucker in your mouth. Like, you're holding him, he's fucking wiggling. Oh, dude. Realistically, fuck. Low-key, minimum I'd go is like 5K. If you pay me anything higher, I'd do it, no questions asked. But 5K would be my minimum. I'm not doing that shit for like $100, dude. That shit's nasty. 5K to like fucking 10, there's no questions asked. 5K, I'd still be like, no, nah, bro, that shit's scary. But like, once you hit that, bro, fuck yeah.
It's the fish in that river. So, using a piece of wood that I burnt to make more flexible, and then attaching my fishing line to it, I've created a little fishing rod. The grub that I ate earlier, I was going to use as bait. And with that said, let's catch me some fish. I went at this for hours. Sitting here for like 4 or 5 hours now. It really makes me appreciate my fish and chip shop. But jokes aside, I really needed to catch something. Come on, give me something. It's getting nothing. Absolutely nothing. I am so hungry
Need more
right
wine,
now.
bro.
I wanted it for a bit longer, but had no luck. Today's not been good. Words can't explain how hungry I am right now. Don't think I've ever felt this skinny before in my life. So hungry, in fact, I tried to fish even more in the pitch black. Look at this guy. I don't know if that's poison. It might be poisonous. These mosquitoes, bro. But again, had no luck with fishing, so I headed back to camp.
The mosquitoes here are hell on earth. Like, no matter where you walk, there's millions of them. I'm starving, I'm bitten everywhere, I'm dirty. Get me out of this place, honestly. I really want to quit, I really do. I'm just gonna have to firm it. All right, I'm gonna try and get some sleep. I hear steps. What could that be? Look, Jackie was out there. Got some
jaguars, you've got anacondas, rattlesnakes. That's to name 1% of what's out there. Fuck, this ain't gonna be a good night's sleep.
The hunger is bad. Like, I am starving, so I've woken up bright and early. I'm just gonna go on with fishing. See if maybe because it's earlier, there might be more fish out, I don't know. I'm trying anything at this point. I had to get food today.
Come on! Yes!
I'd finally done it.
We've caught a piranha, lads. Look at the teeth on this bad boy.
There's piranhas out there, bro.
Never thought I'd eat a piranha in my life, especially one that I've caught myself. Look at that, beautiful. Oh, that tastes so good.
I absolutely devoured it.
That was amazing.
I then, because I've had hardly any sleep the last 2 nights, took a well-deserved nap. And after, in the spirit of facing my fears in this video,
I'm gonna bathe in here, which I never thought I'd be doing.
If you caught a piranha in the fucking water, my first thought is not jumping the fuck in, dude. I'm telling you that now. I would think about jumping in at first, and if I fucking catch a piranha, hard pass, bro. Fuck no. We're not jumping in.
this is known as the deadliest water on the planet. Where I literally caught a piranha. Along with that, it has black caimans, stingrays, electric eels, anacondas, jaguars. The wildlife in this water makes my skin crawl.
Fuck this. What the fuck is down there?
You can hear how much I'm hyperventilating. But remember, I didn't even dare go in the sea before this.
That's me done. That's me done.
Hey look, any effort's better than no effort. I am a bit of a pussy, but I did face my fears.
That was pathetic, I know, but at least I went in.
Look how bad the mosquito bites are.
Oh, fuck, bro.
All on me.
When I got back to camp, I heard a noise above my shelter.
That is mental. My camp is literally here. And there's a monkey.
The monkey kept looking over, so it clearly spotted me.
I'm feeling good. Like, for the first time since getting here, I'm actually in a good mood.
I named the monkey George. And George robbed me in the last night. Took all my fucking camera equipment.
I'll be honest, this was the toughest thing I've ever done. I hated so many parts of it. The Amazon rainforest is a brutal place. Like, even on the way here, I was so close to calling it off. But I'm so glad I pushed through it.
And we're done. Time to go home. That was the toughest thing I've ever done. I've got like a 40-hour journey home.
Morning.
But when I get back, there's one place I really want to go to.
We got fish and chips.
Really makes me appreciate my
Oh, it's exactly what I was craving when I was out there. That is unreal, unreal. Thank you guys for watching the video. What a crazy experience. If you enjoyed, please drop the video a like. And if you want to support me, Young LA, use my code if you want to get some clothes. They've just done their Naruto drop, code Joe. Thank you, everyone.
Naruto. Yo, W video. W video. That was actually a really good video. All right. All right, on the next one. Burglars accidentally solve multiple murders. Lock in, chat.
What you are watching is two men burglarizing a home in Jackson County, Indiana. They take countless valuables, including jewelry, cash, and several guns. What they don't realize is that the entire burglary is being live streamed through a series of hidden security cameras. And the owner of the home is currently watching them. Not only that, but the owner knew exactly who one of them was. A friend of the family, 29-year-old Stephen White. After reporting this to the police, officers went straight to Stephen's residence to confront him.
You're Stephen? Alright, so, do you have any idea why we're here today?
Well, they said that y'all got me on camera last night burglarizing the place.
Well, I got a picture here.
Can I see it?
Already. There's the picture. And that's just one of the 5 that they sent us. So listen. I just want you to know, okay, that there's more than just that picture, all right? So right now, for you, this is the key moment in what happens from here.
With his back against the wall, Stephen drops some bombshell information about the homeowner that reported him, 48-year-old Marsha Lynn Allen.
This woman's a psychopath, and I'm telling you guys that right now. This woman is a f***ing murderer, okay?
This statement caught the officers completely off guard, so they asked Stephen for more details. He said that Marsha killed her husband.
Dude, I feel like if I was a cop and I heard this guy, I'd think he's a fucking psycho himself. He's fucking on drugs, dude.
Harold Allen, by poisoning him because she wanted his life insurance payout.
Marsha went into the kitchen and made a root beer float with whipped cream and sprinkles on top of it. And she poured something out of a bottle into there. He drank it. I guess like an hour and a half later, he started saying, oh, I'm tired, I'm drunk, I gotta go to bed. I don't feel right, but he only had that one drink, apparently, and like maybe 2 beers. Marsha done killed her husband.
However, according to Stephen, after Harold died, Marsha didn't see a dime of that money. It went straight to Harold's brothers instead. So, looking for another way to profit from his death, Marsha came up with an elaborate scheme. She asked Stephen to break into her home and steal some of Harold's possessions. This way, she could report the burglary and receive a payout from her insurance. She promised him a $3,000 payment, but she didn't tell him that she planted hidden cameras all around her house. Since Stephen just admitted to being a part of this burglary conspiracy, he was promptly arrested and taken back to the station.
So her plan was for him and someone else to rob her place so then she can get money from the insurance. And then she got him arrested. And then he just snitched back because that's fucking...
Started as a simple break-in was now a potential homicide investigation, and the person who reported the burglary was now the main suspect. But before getting ahead of themselves, officers decided to look into the supposed victim's autopsy. It turns out that Marsha's husband Harold died from pericarditis, amongst other cardiac issues. Although it appeared he died from natural causes, they still wanted to speak with Marsha to see her reaction to Stephen's allegations. The next day, she was invited to the station for an interview.
Well, what he's saying is basically that you said that you would give him $3,000 to go in the house and take the guns, and have him take the guns and take them back to his place.
He's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
I did not do that.
Okay.
I don't have his number. I don't have his cell phone number. He's lying.
I'll tell you what else he said. He accused you of murdering your husband.
I did not murder my husband.
Okay. Something to the effect of some kind of, I don't know, some kind of seeds or something, and basically poisoning his drink.
That would show me a toxicology report if that happened.
I believe you. I
cannot believe he said I tried to kill my husband.
The detective then obtained Marsha's consent to download her phone data. Before the detective could take her phone, she insisted on deleting some embarrassing images of herself.
Of all your items.
Bullshit. Bullshit already. Hold up, chat. I gotta fix my chair. Hold up. My goodness. Fucking hating on my chair, bro. I'm gonna see if I could.
Yes. You guys don't need to see me get dressed.
Oh, the videos of your... Okay.
Yeah. I just want to make sure you don't see me in my underwear or anything.
All right.
Yeah.
The investigators were now able to start going through Marsha's texts, emails, web searches, and most importantly, her deleted files. From this, they determined that Marsha was attempting to delete evidence during her interview, right in front of the detective.
I just want to make sure you didn't see me in my underwear or anything.
Looking through this deleted data, they discovered that there wasn't just one poisoning, but multiple over the course of several months. These attempts on Harold's life were documented through online orders for various poisonous substances, as well as thousands of text messages. All of these messages were between her and her 29-year-old daughter, Ashley Jones. Ashley and Marsha first tried using pong pong seeds, a natural toxin from Southeast Asia. They ground them up, put them in some homemade brownies, and fed them to Harold. Ashley texted her mother, "How's it going? Lol." Marsha then sent back a picture of Harold and a half-eaten brownie. Ashley replied, "Ooh, let me know when it's gone, lol." Fortunately for Harold, this attempt on his life was unsuccessful. After a few days of bathroom emergencies and a fever, he fully recovered. But Marsha and Ashley were not discouraged. They then ordered foxglove seeds, another natural toxin, and slipped them into a slice of pie. A few days later, Harold was in the emergency room with numbness in the face and jaw, diarrhea, and vomiting. However, the doctors believed these symptoms were from his pancreas dumping too much insulin after he ate the pie. They gave him some medications to manage his symptoms, and once again, Harold recovered after a few days.
This guy's a fucking unit, dude. Actually.
Marsha and Ashley tried one more natural toxin, water hemlock, lacing his food and drinks with it multiple times, but this didn't work either. This is when they realized that these natural toxins weren't working, so they put in an order for ethylene glycol, aka antifreeze. Suddenly, Stephen...
Why do they need to order that, bro? Why don't you just go to the store?
Story doesn't sound so bizarre. On December 19th, 2022, the day before Harold's death, a package containing ethylene glycol was delivered to the Allen household. Ashley texted Marsha, "The mail is here." The following day, Marsha and Ashley discussed dessert. "He's all in for root beer floats." Okie dokie, I'll tell the kids that's what we're doing for dessert tonight. Root beer floats. Marsha then went to Walmart and sent Ashley a photo of a case of mini cans of root beer. Harold died the next morning. For the next few days, Ashley and Marsha pretended to be sad while secretly texting each other about selling off Harold's belongings, and how close they were getting to Harold's life insurance and living happily ever after. In their conversations,
$56,000 is not happily ever after.
we're getting to...
Assuming this lady, I don't know which one is this, is the daughter and which one's the mother. I'm assuming this is the mother. Assuming she's like 40. That's not happily ever after.
While
bro.
secretly texting each other about selling off Harold's belongings, and how close they were getting to Harold's life insurance and living happily ever after.
Is that like conjoined? Is that conjoined or is that all in one total? If it's conjoined, I guess you're good for the next like 2 years, 3 years. But I mean, if that's just one total, like if it's just $68,000, it's not happily ever after.
In their conversations, Marsha and Ashley have a strange tendency to refer to Harold as it. It appeared that they believed that there was some sort of demonic entity attached to him, which was attacking the household, and they were trying to cleanse the demon out of existence by killing Harold. With all of this digital evidence, the detectives now had more than enough evidence to execute a search warrant for the Allen residence. So, on October 16th, 2023, they did just...
Fuck, took so... Oh, wait, never mind.
That.
Oh, wait. I just want to see something.
K.A. antifreeze. Suddenly, Steve...
9/8/19. 9/19. 10/16.
A search warrant
about a month later
for the Allen residence. So, on October 16th, 2023, they did just that.
How's it going, Marsha? Hi, I'm Lieutenant Nicholson with the Sheriff's Department. We're here today because we got a search warrant for your house, okay, to go through some stuff. I'm sure you got some questions on what's going on, so we'd like to explain some of that. And seize evidence of the crime of murder, including, not limited to, any electronic device.
Who's accusing me of murdering?
We got all the text messages back. There's text messages about ordering ethylene glycol.
Huh?
And it was actually delivered to this house.
Huh? Oh no.
House on December 19th.
I would love to give you the chance to talk to us about that and tell me why.
I did not kill my husband.
Do you want to go back to the sheriff's department and we can show you some of these messages and you can explain to them?
I don't have a choice.
Though she was much more reluctant, Marcia agreed to speak to the police again. This time, detectives were armed with everything they discovered on her phone, and they immediately brought up Ashley.
You know, she said some things, you know, in the messages that led us to believe that she could have some involvement. I mean, just from the messages alone, something was done to him.
Before showing Marcia anything, the detectives gave her an opportunity to implicate Ashley right away.
And I can't imagine the situation, being in that situation that you're in. But I just want you to know that we are talking to you first. And if you do know something that she did, to make sure that you tell me today. Because when we talk to her, I don't think she's going to hold back.
Through the years, she's been in there since she was a child. She'll say things. I always call it telling the truth without telling the truth. Like when she was in school, she would skip school and say she was there, but she wasn't there. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So you think that
she's trying to figure out what the crap's going on?
What happened to Ashley's her husband? So
I guess he had a heart attack. I'm not sure.
The husband who Marcia is referring to is Tyerson Jones, who passed away from a supposed cardiac failure in 2019, eerily similar to how Harold passed. According to Tyerson's uncle, William Jones, Tyerson had recently come into an inheritance from his late grandfather.
She had his body cremated, quick, fast, and in a hurry, so before the family could even ask for an autopsy or to have anything done about it.
William says Ashley told them he died from alcohol poisoning, but he always felt there was more to the story.
Ashley or Marcia had set it up to where they poisoned him within the liquor. You can fool me, but you can't fool the Almighty.
The detectives also found a reference to Tyerson in Marcia's text with Ashley. When Harold ate the brownie laced with pong-pong seeds, Marcia asked Ashley, like, what's taking so long? Ashley responded by sharing Tyerson's weight, and previously, Ty was only 120, potentially suggesting that Harold's weight is what saved him from dying from the pong-pong seeds. If
Dude, that's crazy.
Tyerson's death was a homicide, the Jackson County Police wondered if Ashley had even more victims, and they were dealing with a potential serial killer. But if Marcia knew something, she continued to play dumb. The detective showed Marcia the tracking number for the ethylene glycol, which was delivered to her house the day before Harold's death. The purchase was billed to Lynn Allen.
I still don't know what that is.
What's that? What are you pointing at?
Glycol.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay. But you see what I'm talking about, where it says it's billing the Lynn Allen, and that's your address, right? 3287 State Road 135.
Probably there's so much Christmas stuff coming and so many things coming. But no, I did not know about that.
And then this is you to her. It says, how much do you need?
And then it goes right into the floats, you know, the root beer floats.
We all had root beer floats. If that happened, we would all have had something done to us.
Since there was no foul play suspected at the time of Harold's death, his body was not tested for the presence of toxins like ethylene glycol. Luckily for the investigators, samples of Harold's blood and heart tissue were kept, so the samples were sent to the crime lab to be tested again.
Right now, the way this is going, I have a bad feeling that when we get these results back, that it's going to show ethylene glycol in his system.
If it is, it's going to shock me.
However, detectives never got the chance to confront Marcia with these test results because later that night, Marcia's parents called 911 asking for a welfare check on their daughter. They had been trying to get in touch with her all night, but hadn't gotten a response. When deputies knocked on Marcia's door themselves, she didn't answer for them either.
There's something wrong.
The deputies got the green light to enter the home. When they got to the end of the hallway, they turned the corner and discovered Marcia dead in her bedroom. Beside her body, they found a piece of paper that said, "I did not kill my husband. You win, Ashley." While deputies closed off the scene, Ashley, who had been living 400 miles away in Missouri, was placed under arrest and extradited back to Indiana to be interviewed by police.
Hey, Ashley. So we wanted to tell you in person that you are under the arrest for the murder of Harold, okay? And conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder.
Lawyer.
Ashley was not yet aware of her mother's death, and the detectives decided to keep it that way for now.
We have some text messages from your mom's phone. She consented to a download, and there was some text messages on there that we had some concern about. Do you know anything about the ethylene glycol?
No, sir.
Okay. The information we got was Harold did not die of natural causes, basically, that he was poisoned.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Really? That's strange. Weird. I mean, what I was aware of was he had a heart condition. Really? Oh, goodness. Wait. Oh, I'm an idiot.
There was root beer floats that were made, and that the poison, which turns out to be ethylene glycol, is put into the root beer float, and that Harold drinks it, and obviously the end result was that he died.
I mean,
yeah, she's fucking caught red-handed.
You think your mom's capable of doing something like that?
I don't know.
Has she ever like ordered stuff using do you have like accounts to where she could have access to ordering stuff?
Yeah, I give her my information so, in case anything happens, she's supposed to help take care of stuff like that.
So she could have used your account to order something.
Yeah, absolutely. She would always have me get the mail and look for packages because she's always ordering stuff online. She loves online shopping.
The detectives were certain Ashley was playing dumb, but they weren't ready to confront her just yet. So they changed topics and asked Ashley about the demon that she and her mom believed was living inside Harold.
Was it ever mentioned, or do you remember anything ever mentioned about Harold possibly having some kind of demon, or I think it was referred to as it?
She would say something about an it when it was when his moods would flip. I thought it was normal.
I mean, because it seems like she even talks about like it's mad, it's pissed, like it's attacking us.
I thought she kind of did that to kind of dissociate from the man from the issue. I thought that more was like just a metaphor. I was just humoring her so she didn't, get upset and she had somewhere to talk to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we know what happened to Harold. We've got evidence of that. Your mom come in yesterday. She told us a lot. We got months and months and months of text messages. I mean, it's obvious that something happened to him. Now is your chance to tell us what you know about what happened to Harold.
Sensing that the detectives weren't buying her clueless act, Ashley began to pivot, saying that her mom actually did believe in the demonic entity and was dead set on getting rid of it.
I know she said she wanted out.
Can you be more specific?
She wanted to get rid of him.
In what way?
She wanted to be free of him completely. She wanted him dead. And I said, you're going to go to hell for that, Mom.
Did she really think that he was possessed?
She thought he had something in him. She did. I thought she was just, like I said earlier, dissociating what she didn't like from the man. But the way she would word it, she really believed something was inside him, that it was going to attack everybody in the house.
Harold left the fucking toilet seat up the other day. He's got a fucking demon in him. This must be possessed or something. There's just no way. This isn't the Harold that I know.
And it was making her mean, and she really believed it.
Now that Ashley had done a 180 and was suggesting that Marcia was responsible for Harold's death, the detectives circled back to the various poisons mentioned in their text messages.
What is foxglove?
That's a plant.
Why do you think she would ask you? Like you think she was trying to bring you into that too?
I don't know. She was always asking me weird stuff.
She never asked you specifically about the words ethylene glycol.
No.
Okay.
Like I said, she said all the time, can I use your phone to look something up? Which I thought was weird. You got your own, but whatever.
Okay. Like to order stuff?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, because we would always do that. I would share mine. She'd never share hers.
You would share when you
my bank information,
your bank information,
my phone, my logins, all that.
Multiple times throughout the interview, Ashley said that she frequently allowed Marcia to use her phone.
Well, I would share mine. She'd never share hers.
This seemed like a blatant attempt to blame her mom for all of the incriminating evidence found on her phone. But unless Marcia was having text conversations with herself all day long, Ashley was clearly involved.
So there's messages that lead us as investigators to believe that she needed your help. I mean, we can all sit here and act like we don't really know what happened, but we all three in this room know that what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody put some ethylene glycol
in the root beer float. Put the ethylene glycol in the root beer float.
My mother did. Honestly.
From this point on, Ashley buried her mom in accusation.
But you've never heard of it you didn't know. You said dude.
Saying that Marcia was the mastermind behind Harold's death and framing herself as an innocent daughter manipulated by her evil mother.
She asked me to place order for her, yeah.
For the ethylene glycol?
For something like that, yeah,
Now,
from Texas.
You're doing very, very well, okay? You're doing very good. You're helping us. You're doing great.
Can you tell us a little bit about how it was decided to use the root beer floats?
She said, I want to do something that I know he'll eat or drink all of it. So here's his favorite.
Sometime between 8 and 8:30 or 9 when you're going to bed, she sees you in the hallway. And what'd she say?
She said he drank it all.
So after the root beer floats on the 19th, you go to bed, you wake up on the 20th.
Yeah, I think it was 12 or 1. She was screaming, he's gone. That's when all the drama started. Before then, I was just doing what I normally do.
She's running back and forth. Was she faking the drama, you think? Or was she like, you think she was sorry she did what she did?
I don't think she feels any remorse, honestly.
After Ashley completely disavows Marcia and portrays her as a ruthless, cold-blooded killer, the detectives decided that this was a good time to tell her about her mother's death.
So, I'm here to talk to you about something completely different.
Okay.
Okay? It's not going to be an easy conversation. Okay? After your mom was here yesterday and spoke with us, we got a call to go check on her welfare at her home. And she's passed away.
What?
She passed away.
What happened?
Without going into a lot of detail,
What you can tell me.
It appeared that there was something ingested possibly, and passed away on her bed.
You're serious?
I'm 100% serious, yes.
She didn't leave no note, no nothing you can tell me or...
There might have been a note that was left. I don't know exactly the contents of the note right now.
And she's really gone. It's not just some joke.
I promise you I don't joke like this.
Unfortunately for Ashley, her mother was now deceased, so she had no one else to blame. Following this interview, Ashley was charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, and consumer product tampering, resulting in serious bodily injury. With Ashley now locked up, the detectives were able to go through her phone. They found another text conversation between Ashley and Marcia that took place just hours after Marcia's first interview. Marcia said to Ashley, "Why would you betray me?" Ashley claimed not to know what Marcia was talking about, and Marcia said, "You know what I'm talking about. Who was with Steven? You gave him the combination to my safe. 3 people knew. Harold."
I don't actually, and Steven with his husband living with his mom as far as I know, and I'm starting work one day at Genpack or whatever. I don't have the combination here safe. What are you even talking about? 3 people?
Me and you. One is dead, and I was out of town. Ashley continued to deny knowing anything about this robbery. Marcia replied, "I knew you would deny it. You didn't know I have hidden cameras everywhere." Ashley denied her involvement one more time, and the conversation ended with Marcia saying, "Okay, I will just continue to cry and wonder why." Further diving into Ashley's texts, it was clear that Ashley was actually best friends with Marcia's burglar, Stephen White. Ashley and Stephen exchanged thousands of text messages planning the burglary of Marcia's home. The reason Ashley orchestrated this robbery was because she felt ripped off following Harold's death. Apparently, Marcia promised Ashley a cut of his life insurance payout, but she never followed through with this promise. Fast forward to April of 2024, and while Ashley sat behind bars awaiting her trial, her cellmate Anita Easley reported to a corrections officer that Ashley had admitted to killing not only Harold, but her late husband, Tyrson Jones, as well.
She used insulin on him, her mother.
She used insulin on him to what?
Kill him.
Okay.
And she got life insurance.
But she definitely mentioned that she killed him and that she got away with it.
Yes.
But this wasn't all. Apparently, Ashley gave Anita a prayer list. This prayer list was actually a hit list, which Ashley was attempting to smuggle out of prison.
If you're praying for someone, what does that mean?
It means beat down.
Okay.
But in her mind, it means to kill.
Talking
And her
about-
eyes, I mean, you hear me saying you're shark-eyed. People's, man, they go big when she starts talking about killing people. And then they go pinned up. And then they go big. And she just, I mean, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
To confirm that this prayer list was actually a hit list, the detective strapped a hidden microphone to Anita and had her speak to Ashley about the list. Not only did Ashley confirm that this was a hit list, she even instructed Anita on what type of firearms to get and where the victims should be shot.
Sure. With a high-powered rifle right there, in the back of the neck.
Right here severs every nerve and kills you instantly. Or right here. Okay, I mean,
So
right
that's
here.
how she was wanting these
She
people
touched
taken
me.
out.
Ashley specifically.
Ashley's hit list included Stephen White, Stephen's robbery accomplice, Nathaniel Kane Napier, and her ex.
What the fuck? You plan a fucking robbery and then you're trying to kill the 2 people that were in it?
Fiance Ashley Nieves.
Did she say why she wanted Ashley Nieves taken out?
Because she said she was there when she poisoned Harold.
Since Ashley's ex-fiancée, Ashley Nieves, was on the hit list, the detectives tracked her down to see if she had any information that would help with their case.
We ended up moving into her mom's house. She wanted to have total control of everything. I couldn't listen to Spanish music. I couldn't listen to anything that has to do with anything with my culture. I couldn't make food that has to do with my culture. I wasn't allowed in the kitchen to cook.
During Ashley Nieves and her daughter's time living with Harold, Marcia, and Ashley, she and her daughter were frequently ill, leading her to believe that they were potential victims of poisoning as well.
We ate what was cooked. Didn't really ask questions. Okay, cool.
Who usually cooked?
Ashley and Marcia. The thing that scares me the most is we had root beer fruits, me and the kids. We had brownie, then all of a sudden I'm sick.
So go back to like when the brownies were made and shit. Do you remember there being some kind of nut, acorn?
It looked like an overgrown acorn. It was a black grinder type looking thing. It was like about this big. I asked her, are you putting nuts in the whole brownie? Because I have family that's allergic to certain kind of nuts. So I'm like, she said, oh, that's fine. Made the brownies. When I came back, she was throwing out the grinder, and I was like, why are you throwing out the grinder? Like, did it break? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't tell nobody I threw that out.
Nieves' description of the nuts Marcia and Ashley put into the brownies perfectly matches the description of pong pong seeds and the pair's discussion on how to prepare it. At this point, even Ashley began to realize she wouldn't stand a chance at trial. In August of 2025, Ashley Jones accepted a plea deal. Her murder charge was dropped and she was convicted of attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. She was sentenced to 50 years in prison. Ashley has not been charged with the murder of Tyrson Jones. Indiana police are considering reopening the case as new information continues to come to light. Ashley currently resides at the Indiana Women's Prison and is set to be released in the year 2075. As for Stephen White and his accomplice Kane Napier, they were both convicted of burglary and sentenced to serve 3 years in prison. They are set to be released in the year 2028.
Alright, that ain't too bad. 2028 ain't too bad. That'd be video there. That's crazy. 2075, bro. I'll be like, what? 68? That was crazy from start to finish. Imagine selling now the guy you hired to burglar while he knows you're a murderer. Amazing playing skills. That's what I'm saying. Killing someone for a measly $68K is next level poverty mentality. That's what I'm saying, dude. Okay, I was just saying something. I got my family over. The 2 Maz home invader robbers in the thumbnail are the most decent people in the story, to be honest. I wonder if Ashley knows she's a psychopath. Probably. Alright. That was a good video.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you?
Alright, next video. The Peter Pan Stalker.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you do?
Sorry. The Peter Pan Stalker. Lock intro.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come in and sit down because today we're going to talk about Disneyland cast members. We've talked about Disney adults many times on this channel before. Hell, it's the thing that probably built the channel, right? People who basically want to spend their entire lives chasing childhood nostalgia, yada, yada, yada. We've heard it all before, and I'm sure you've seen it all over your feed. I saw this one thing that was that park hoppers get a lot where it's like blotchy rashes on their legs.
Yeah, too much walking.
And they call it the Disney rash. It's because they're just walking.
And too much rubbing up against each other when they're in the rides.
That's what I get. I walk from my office to the kitchen, and I get that rash on my legs too. A Disney adult can take many forms. Some people simply love theme parks. Some are emotionally attached to the franchise, like Star Wars, and some just want to collect hordes of collectibles, right? They just want things to hoard like a dragon in its gold. But there are some more advanced cases of the Disney disease that manifest in much more problematic ways. Everyone knows that Disney cast members who dress up as popular characters have a few strict rules that they must adhere to. The most important of which being to never break character, lest you ruin the magic for a child that genuinely believes that they're meeting their favorite cartoon character brought to life. How many kids are they actually interacting with a day?
Hundreds, thousands.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no. Recently, bro, the amount of kids that aren't fucking less than 4 years old, bro. Kids that are actually probably going to have a genuine memory to this shit. Ah, dude. I don't know, bro. Kids that are actually from like the ages of 5 to like 14. Those are kids. I know 13 and 14 is a teenager, but I mean like you're still technically a kid, bro. But I mean, dude, that's rare. It's actually rare.
No. Let's say hundreds. And then how many adult children? That's what I'm saying.
I see.
There's 100% kids there. I'm saying that
They're still children. You don't want to break their fantasy.
it would be a weird thing of being like you're trying to be like, oh, like play for a kid, you know, I'm Peter Pan, blah blah blah, and then some person comes like behind a goofy statue or something, just like, hi Peter. Be scary.
It's like fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god, hold on, wait, I have to find it. It's like dude.
Welcome back to the pod.
This is how I imagine like what he's talking about. This is how I imagine like Disney adults. Oh shit, wrong tab. No, alright. That's how I imagine Disney adults.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Not this.
Now, we all saw you put your card back in the deck, so how did it end up in your shirt pocket?
Oh my god, how did he do that?
Now we
You guys all imagine it, bro.
Actually, it might be good to break their minds.
My name's Todd. To be fair, though, they are a paying customer.
They are supporting Disney.
Those are the prize hogs.
Do you think Walt is rolling in his grave right now?
Oh, Walt's... No, he loves it. 100%. He's like, the children...
Didn't they freeze Walt? Or is that like a conspiracy?
...grow up and they're still children. You know?
Magical. Just like Peter Pan.
Magic. Just like the Magic Kingdom. This rule can very easily be abused by certain Disney adults desperate to speak to their favorite characters, even if it means cornering them with a camera pressed against their face. Say you love me. On many occasions, cast members are accosted and forced to sit through lengthy, sometimes flirtatious conversations with strange people. When the kids aren't around, the wholesome nature of Disneyland starts to fade just a little bit. Well, that's the thing, that Gaston thing. What do you think about that Gaston video? Do you support Gaston, or do you think he went a little overboard?
I think he went a little overboard. Granted, you got to think too, like outside this moment, how many times has this actor been harassed?
Yeah, was that just the breaking point of like, dude, just fucking stop touching me? Yeah.
It's understandable. If he's not comfortable, then he needs to speak his mind. Him being fired, though, that's ridiculous.
He was not fired. Nick is actively spreading misinformation. If you're sick of his lies, comment Nick times up. He knows he will.
It felt like a whorehouse, didn't it?
Yeah.
If they want to touch you, let them touch you. The beast is sitting there. He like lifts up his cloak or whatever. There's like a big red guy. There's like a rose wilting in the background. These people have yet to reckon with the fact that the overconfident man dressed like Gaston isn't the beefy hunk that they're thirsting after. No, it's actually just a 30-year-old theater nerd with a muscle suit on and probably some chronic health issues, all right? A lot of these people that are doing this just love to act. They love the performance of it, right? Has there ever been a Disney character actor that has like landed a big role?
I have no idea. Let's see. Yeah, fact check.
Michelle Pfeiffer used to play
A lot of them, their goal is like, I just want to be this character. Like, they're Disney adults too, in a sense. They're like,
oh, so you're saying that even the character actors are Disney adults? Well, that makes sense too. I want to work there, and I've always dreamt. Oh, that makes sense. I've always dreamt of being Belle or whatever.
we get into the pay, but man, it's for what they do.
Horrible, atrocious. It's terrible. So let's talk about the side of working at Disney that is far bleaker than the colorful world it masquerades as. Our fascination with Disney adults is no secret, all right? But what's got us breaking out this dead horse for yet another video is a new story making the rounds on one particular obsessed fan, Tony, or Baby Tony 99. I didn't like that. I tell you, when I sit there, I'm like, what's her name, Tony? And they're like, yeah, it goes by Baby Tony 99. I was like,
yeah.
She's just a baby. Small baby. I'm a small baby. A small baby baby. Baby Tony 99.
Baby Tony 99, as she's known as online, is a social media influencer and stage 4 Disney adult who's developed a pretty unhealthy fixation on the character Peter Pan. Digging down into her oldest post, it looks like this one-sided obsession began a little over 10 years ago in January of 2015. Really let that sit in. A decade of posts. That's kind of, I mean, like, really honestly think about that. Who were you in 10 years ago? It's a different person. That's the biggest thing that creeps me out is that, because what if she was born in 1999, so she was 16 probably starting at the time. When you're 16 up until you're 26, you become several different people through that time period, you know?
Not her, she's just a Peter Pan fan.
Do you think she's chased her shadow in her room?
Oh my god, yeah, she's gotten up on the bed. Ha ha! Ha ha!
The dad's in the next room just like this.
I'm gonna get you, Captain Hook.
Dad, come to Neverland with me. I'm already there. It was then that Tony first documented meeting the Peter Pan actor at Disneyland. What started as a pretty innocuous post soon started to rapidly infest her page as photos and videos of Peter Pan sightings multiplied across her feed. These posts would run the gamut of quick interactions to cringy attempts at trying to kiss the actor to even a video of Tony asking him to her homecoming dance.
I'm not sure what this homecoming is, but I'm not going! Because then I'll get cooties!
This video is sponsored by Hungaroo. Trying to stick to a high-protein diet while working for 1,000 grocery gives me access to healthy girl. I mean, there has to be a moment. .com with code PAPAMeat. Thank you, Hungaroo, for sponsoring this video. Back to the video. I think there has to be a moment, even if you do. I know it's like you can't break character. If it's been that many attempts, you need to be like, honestly, I don't feel comfortable. You need to do it early. This deal of I'll get cooties, to me, that multiplies the fascination 10 times.
Say, yeah, there needs to be a hard break because they think they're just like, oh, they're
grab a wrist real hard. Hey! Leave me alone.
Do you think there'd be a better thing if they had like a code word in character where it's just like, if you say this,
yeah,
like,
Peter's like, Captain Hook, whatever, and then a guy with like a fucking bamboo dorsum through her neck. She falls down.
Yeah, just be like, Captain Hook's over there. And that's when the security comes and they're dressed as pirates.
No, I think it's got to be, you have to break the illusion,
I know,
even in character.
Because you're like almost enhancing their fantasy, like going along and staying in character. Like,
yeah, churro danger. And they rappel down. Get the fuck out of here. And they rappel Peter Pan up. There needs to be something that breaks the illusion. Or he just needs to be like, honestly, Tony? No. Fuck no.
You know how you do it? Ooh, Tony, your breath stinks.
Oh, Tony. Is that churros? She's like, how'd you know? She's holding 4 churros. How'd you know? No. You don't even set her down gently. That's disgusting. You're gross. That'd be so rude. God, whatever. Obviously, this is not a novel thing to see. Fans, especially young teens, develop this Disney obsession all the time, right? I mean, it's not like that's abnormal. And so, like many Disney-obsessed cringe lords before her, Tony's pages were grimaced at for a few days and then sequestered off to dark corners of the internet, right? Oh, this is weird. And then, go on with your life. That is, until recently, when a newer video began popping up in people's feeds, and in it, a notably older Tony is seen gifting current Peter Pan actor a crochet duck she made. It's still happening. I mean, imagine seeing this thing, because how many times have you done this too, Nick? You see a video online, it's a meme that circulates between you and your friends, it's only funny between you and your friends, or interesting because you have some kind of context with it, and imagine that video, you see it, and the person's still doing it 10 years later. I mean, would you not just be like...
There's a guy, he's on TikTok. His whole thing is he's saying, like, I'm doing the chica dance until I get a girlfriend.
I've seen that dude. It's sad.
Yeah, and he's at, like, 2000. 2000.
He's like a cane now and shit.
Well, and then everyone's just like, bro, if you would have just like bettered yourself, you would have a girlfriend instead of doing this stupid dance every day.
Yeah, it's a humiliation ritual for sure. This seemed to be a pretty common method of hers to lock down Peter Pan actors for photo shoots and forced conversations. The goddamn duck.
Well, it's not even just the duck. She literally brings even Funko Pops, like different toys, and it's just a way of being like, what do you think of this? And like to trap them in a conversation.
Oh, I think it's cool. Cool. What's your blood type? Oh, positive.
No bother.
She has like a giant saw. See Tinkerbell recently? What really sets this video apart from the others is the clearly concerned body language of the man playing Peter Pan. This new Peter, I'm telling you what, that motherfucker's scared. Okay? He is. Like, when she walks up, she's like, hi, Peter. And he's like,
oh, yeah. No, he has flashbacks.
Hey. In the video, he's seen backing into a wall as Tony forces interactions and inches closer and closer to him. Tony and her friend behind the camera then proceed to spend several minutes following Peter around the park, filming him and preventing him from interacting with children clearly waiting for their turn to just be a child at an amusement park. The video caps off with the camera woman reminding Peter that we'll see him again next week as his face loses all color. And it's true, really. If you take a screenshot from this, you would be like, this person just witnessed someone die.
He is gripping that stone.
It's like that one, what's that one video where the guy, this like Mexican singer gets a note from the cartel that says he's gonna get murdered at the show, and he's just like, yeah. It's a look like that.
You know what's crazy? She goes apparently like every day.
Is there just a pass that you can go every day?
They got rid of it.
I thought they got rid of it. So how do you afford this?
Rich parents.
I bet you there's fucking Disneyland credit cards.
Oh my God, yeah.
And they're putting it through that.
Yeah.
You know?
Gotta get more Disney points.
It's good for my credit. This is when viewers began to realize these videos weren't just once in a blue moon visits. As it turns out, Tony has been forcing interactions like this once a week for the last 10 years. Clearly, 10 years is a long time. Enough time that Tony has outlasted several different Peter Pan fucking actors, dude. As montages, she posts herself featured nearly a dozen different performances in the iconic costume. This resurgence of Tony's videos has caused several commenters to blast her with the accusations of cringe and stalkerish behavior, to which Tony pushed back, writing, just saying, if he didn't want me to be around me, he would literally run away. Have you seen the video?
Oh my God.
There's nowhere to run, Tony.
I had a guest that had come up to me many times a day, and she described my dog to me in very specific detail. Very shortly after, I found her waiting at the cast member parking lot for me.
This man playing Peter Pan explained how she was harmless compared to other nightmare guys.
For about a month, she was there every shift. The straw that really broke the camel's back for me was my family came to visit me, and she somehow figured out who my family was and decided to follow them around in the park for a day.
They definitely have a poster of her, like, beware.
They have 100% got to have a photo being like, if you see this person try to like go the other way, whatever, because you know she's just gonna be sitting there. It's like Slender Man. Turn around, they're sitting there, and the Peter Pan's eyes go static. They're walking around Disney World trying to collect notes until they can.
Oh my God. I bet you Disneyland does have a profile on repeat people. And
oh, easily. And you know what's the saddest thing of all? No way they have that for like pedophiles or sexual offenders. It's just concerning Disney adults. I bet you fucking anything, dude. This isn't even the first time a cast member has had to endure such aggressive fan obsession. In fact, it happens to more people than you expect. Near naked characters like Tarzan were cut from the parks entirely because of how often women were pinching and grabbing cast members' asses. One man playing Jack Sparrow would play along with the light flirting, only to realize that drunk park goers were generally trying to fuck him and like basically give him their hotel room numbers. Come find me after. Also drunk. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? You can do whatever you want to me, Jack. Takes their room key. Yeah, right. What the fuck does he say at the end of the first Pirates of the Caribbean? I have no idea what he says.
I can't do it.
He's like, here we are, and then like blast into the credits. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Oh, editor, put it up. He's like, here was dude. It's like, it's that.
All I know is it's like, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, this the day you almost got. Captain Jack, what do you imagine him naked in a room, like on a fully erect penis? This is the day that you almost got fucked by Jack Sparrow. Whatever. I don't think I like a cuckold. Well, you better start liking them because you're in one. As far as Peter Pan lovers go, a previous Tumblr-based fandom labeled themselves as being members of the Peter Pandom.
Oh.
An entire subculture dedicated to the franchise. Pick a different franchise. Pick a fucking different franchise for the love of God.
Do they not see the irony of it?
No! No! I wanted to be a child forever? No! If anything, they're like, that is heaven. I do like that, actually. I'll tell you what, though. I bet you fucking rolling in the hay with somebody from the Peter Pandom is wild. You want to try catching my shadow? Oh. Sitting there, boner in the shadow, run around, just bob around. You get back here, Shadow. One specific cast member pined over at this time was known as the Spieling Peter Pan, based on his ability to talk your ear off in character during park interactions and when he took over as tour guide during the storybook ride. Fans thought he was gorgeous, charming, and adored his portrayal of the character. He became a viral sensation on platforms like Tumblr. Ooh. Lucky you. Where people would obsess over everything he did. It got to the point where people were making fan edits, fan fiction, and flooding YouTube with videos of their interactions with him. And that's, you get the commenters who are like,
You're so lucky.
Disney hates this. When you become popular than the actual character. That's what happened to the, the witch? The Disney witch?
I don't know why, though. Wouldn't that incentivize you to be like, we should keep them, and people are going to definitely just show up and buy tickets to see them?
I think it becomes a thing where it's like you're no longer going for the character, you're going for that person. Because the witch, the evil stepmom lady, I think she would post TikToks, and that was like a no-no. So it's like almost stealing their IP, and she was like profiting off of it in a way. But it's stupid because it's just like, if you're so good at it, it's free advertising.
People would want to show up to the park.
Exactly, just for her.
Whatever. While this was mostly harmless, it evolved into people repeatedly approaching him in the park, and they weren't just having quick interactions or filming fake proposals. They were swarming him and following him throughout his route. It was just really weird. They're just like, hey, and he's like, it's bad when they're trying to walk away and they like look back at you.
And they scatter.
Yeah. At one point, the cast member goes off to find young parkgoers to interact with, but a woman just continues following him and filming both Peter and the random children that he's talking to. And it's just this weird, like, antisocial weirdo thing. If you take those videos and you put heavy breathing behind it, infinitely more scary. You're so funny, Peter. Another woman films herself pestering him as he roams the park. She tries to convince him to get on a ride with her, and he starts running away the best he can while trying to stay in character. Hey, woohoo! Yeah, sorry, I don't want to grow up. She's like, also, get on this ride with me. I would seriously just be like, what? No, fucking leave me alone. And then I'd do, you're one of Captain Hook's friends. And that's how I'd roll back in. Get away from me, you scary bitch. You're scaring me because you're a pirate. And then you're in character still. See?
They kind of do that with Star Wars, but that the villains will yell at people as if they're like the rebellions and stuff. That's what they need to do.
I like how your response to that is, the Star Wars team has got to start talking to the Disney team about how to handle these situations. Desperate to make her leave, Peter starts telling the woman that she needs to go find buried treasure and return it to him so they can bury it together.
Okay, here's the deal. You have to go find some treasure. And then when you find it, you have to bring it back to me, and then we're gonna go bury it. Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Is it?
Yeah, because he's just like, what? And we'll bury it together. And he's just like, I'm clocking on. I'm getting the fuck. I'm leaving. Do you think she steals like a dialysis machine from somebody? Found the treasure. Where did you get that? He eventually stopped playing the role of Peter and moved on with his career, being fairly supportive of the Peter Pan fandom, regardless of the creeps that infested it. Which, you gotta say, pretty good guy. Didn't let the bad eggs, not even a couple bad apples or eggs, a lot. The batch of bad eggs ruined his experience in the fandom. Bravo. One woman who worked at Disney for 10 years chimed in with a story involving an obsessed attendee that was a diehard Star Wars fan. More specifically, a fan of the character Luke Skywalker. This love was so deep that she even changed her last name to Skywalker and would go to the park daily to spend time with him. She saw him so much that she was able to recognize when the actor was swapped with someone else, and when she disliked them, she would tell them to their face, I don't like you. Bring back the other Luke Skywalker. That's what I would do. I would do a force thing. I'd do a force thing of like what is Jedi mind trick?
Yeah, Jedi mind trick.
You have chronic depression. Over time, this would evolve into handing out love letters, finding out actors' real names, what? And taking notes on their work schedule so she could see them more frequently.
Danger.
Can you imagine being dressed up as Luke Skywalker and someone's like, "Hi, Garrett."
Oh my god, dude, that scare me.
And then behind her's just a girl. She's like this. Hi, Garrett Peterson, 445 Cherry Street, Glendale, California. Fuck! Fucking fly just flew right by my eye. What the fuck is that? Because many of Luke actors resembled Peter Pan, they would often swap between the roles, and the woman picked up on this and began stopping them at the Magic Kingdom as well. It seemed that she started to care less about the characters and more about the actors playing them, because she soon began waiting outside of the gate when she knew cast members would leave so she could approach them. The ex-cast member recounts being told that the woman was eventually caught trespassing and was banned from the parks entirely. Yeah, at least that's good. At least that's a happy ending. That is extreme stalkerish behavior. And do you think this just stems from the idea that a character is being overly, like a Peter Pan guy is gonna be over the top, "How you doing today?" Whatever, and it's an extremely positive social interaction, and maybe that's the only social interactions they're having, so that's why they latch onto it so hard.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's feeding their delusions. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like, here's this character, they're super nice to me, I'm getting away with so much.
Because there is no pushback. Because I bet you other people have been like, "Would you fucking give me some space?" Or
Yeah, I feel like them not like talking back to them or telling them anything would probably incentivize them to just fucking stay.
something. I do empathize, which is weird to say, but I do empathize with people who like don't have any social skills and they go to these places that needs to feed some kind of delusion or fantasy to get that human connection fulfillment. I feel bad for these people all the times, but guess what? It's creepy as fuck. You're finding out their actual names. You're like it's too much, and I don't think that any of these are necessarily even like sexual. I mean, some of them obviously are sexual in nature, but I do legitimately believe that it's just a person who's like, "This is my best friend." They're just looking for a connection. This history of thirsting cast members, coupled with Tony's recently uncovered videos, have even caused some old actors to air out their dirty Disney laundry. Now, see, this is what I want to hear. Joshua, a previous Peter Pan actor for Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, took this as an opportunity to share his own story with stalkers. In his video, he explains that a woman in her late 20s or early 30s would visit his line every single time he played Peter Pan at the park. She would stand in line, wait her turn to meet Peter, then, when the interaction was done, she would circle right back to the end of the line and begin waiting again.
Oh, God.
Imagine spending hours of your life doing this, and like, you get something out of it. If it was a child, it would be different. It's a forming brain. It's the excitement of the park. You know, you're young, whatever. Your fucking brain's crystallized. All right, you're tapping something into the fucking unknown, the depths, all right? When she did make it to the front of the line, Joshua comments that she would ask disturbing questions, sometimes involving sexual assault or self-harm, which I'm guessing she's like, "Peter, have you ever been touched? Because I have." If you're a Peter Pan actor, how are you supposed to approach that?
Let's go find some treasure.
And he wasn't the only one to experience this either. He recalls that many of the Disney princess actors would also get this kind of attention, predominantly from middle-aged handsy dads who were taking their families to the park, which I could see that 100%. I could even see men doing the same thing where they're unable to talk to women. They hate women because they don't give them a chance. But so then it's a thing where I feel like these interactions, as she's like, "Oh, okay, well, I have to go," would be met with a lot more hostility of like, "Fucking bitch, you can't just sit here and talk to me." Like, honestly, I feel like it'd be like that. "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, it's nice to meet you. You look very beautiful today." "Thank you." "You are so fucking beautiful. My daughter loves you, and I think that we could just fucking... we could be in it for like the long haul. She doesn't mean anything to me." Jesus Christ, dude. I bet you people have said some crazy shit. This actor makes it clear he doesn't exclusively blame Disney for these experiences, but brings up some pretty good points about how they should be more mindful and protective of the actors who, time and time again, have been shown to experience this kind of treatment from creepy fans. Because Disney and many of its training protocols center around children and how to interact with them, many actors aren't properly trained in how to deal with these more grown, sometimes dangerous adults, and just the kind of implications that some of these conversations could lead to that might steer into a more like, I feel threatened, or I just feel completely weirded out.
Has anyone ever strangled like an actor at the Disney parks?
His callouts of Disney's lacking practices didn't even end there. In a follow-up video, he starts going into some of the crazy policies character actors are subjected to that caused him and many others to quit their roles. The first of these weird policies involved playing both face and fur characters. Face characters are characters who don't need to wear like large masks and costumes. These are often the most sought after roles since they won't leave you suffering from a heat stroke surrounded by children in a massive fursuit. So this is your Peters and all the normal stuff, right? But then your fur characters, like the name implies, are forced to wear massive mascot costumes and are often paid way less, which I think is bullshit too. There's got to be discriminatory shit there too, right?
Oh yeah.
So you're beautiful, you're a face, and then you like look at me. They're like, fur. Exactly. Many actors comment that they would initially apply to be a face character, only to learn after getting hired that they would be required to play both. Joshua specifically mentions he would only get to play Peter for 5 or 7 hours a week. For the rest of his 40 hours, he'd be sent into the fur mines to play Pluto in the sweltering heat. And we've seen how insane these fur roles can be. Far be it from Disney to provide actors with fans or ice pack. Instead, fur actors go through training to ensure they're ready to take on the load of a hot costume for lengthy periods of time. Like, we're going to do a thing called no eating and no water. Like, so all you're going to do, we're going to give you a Capri Sun every 45 minutes. Some former cast members would still report wearing water-soaked towels around their necks to push through the work in the summer. I mean, especially in Orlando. Holy fuck. Can you imagine being in that sweaty, humid fucking nightmare in a goddamn Pluto outfit? Putting a Mickey head on and you're seeing out his mouth. Sound like you're a fucking deep sea diver. Walking around Disney World. Despite the emphasis on cast member safety and frequent breaks, you can find numerous cases in which childhood favorite characters collapse to the ground from heat stroke. Park goers are seen crowding around fallen cast members, fanning their faces and helping them back up like a friend who just got their ass beat outside of a bar, which is true. Or, God forbid, their helmet falls off. We've already discussed what happens then. Whenever you see a helmet fall off, I've never seen someone grapple with something faster. In these situations, cast members have to decide at the moment if taking off their costume and living is worth losing their job. At which age, here's a question, Nick. What's worse, a child watching Tigger die on a pavement or finding out that he's not real?
I think finding out that he's not real, because then you've just broken a child's...
Watching Tigger die on the ground and then they take off his helmet and there's a human being underneath it, you'd be like... That child is growing up to like, he's gonna wear like women's panties and like choke himself. It's gonna be like, it's gonna look like a Ryan Murphy monster episode. I'm a pretty girl. I'm a pretty girl. It's gonna be that kind of thing, dude. Is that whatever? Whatever. I don't have to fucking justify myself. One cast member playing Shelly May, the Disney bear, is caught on video the moment she starts seeing stars during the Carnival of Stars parade at Hong Kong Disney. She stops acting, starts looking at the floor, and slowly crumbles to the ground like a broken animatronic. The cheerful music continues to blare as a swarm of staff and other mascots pick her up and drag her away. It's pretty dystopian. It's brutal.
She's already out.
Leave her.
What's a couple more seconds? Yeah, just pick her up. Man, she's sleeping.
Ooh, look who fell asleep.
Even if you do land the highly coveted role of a face character, you better look and act like your character at all times, because Disney will make sure you fucking do. Morgan DeVore, who played Tinkerbell at parks, explained just how insanely meticulous Disney would get when preparing you for your face role. She recounts having to sit down and watch every single piece of media Tinkerbell has ever appeared in, and as she watched, her trainer would pause the movie at random intervals and demand her to repeat lines with the exact same voice. Go. Again. She even recalls having each of her performances recorded and zoomed in on as she received minuscule notes like,
"Your kneecaps keep going out. Tinkerbell does not do that."
"I can't fly," would be my rebuttal. "Well, then I guess you're more of a fucking fur then, aren't you?" No! Even if a single hair was out of place, DeVore would worry about no longer being cleared for public performance. And even with all the mannerisms and body language down, face actors are still at risk of losing their jobs if they ever stop naturally resembling their character, aka don't get fat.
I bet they do psychological shit too, where they're not...
Oh my god.
Yeah, they grab their belly. What is this?
I didn't know that Peter, didn't know Peter had love handles.
Peter's nose isn't that hook shape. Are
you Peter Pan or are you Toucan Sam? It's been well documented that Disney will run visual appearance check-ins every 6 or so months. Actors have commented that these can sometimes be a quick visual check and sometimes be so invasive as to hook you up to a scanner and takes down every minuscule measurement of your body. Even the tiniest discrepancy between you and your character can send you right back to the fur leagues, with some previous Disney princesses mentioning insignificant issues like acne, sunburn, or small injuries were enough to get them sidelined. Not only that, this culture of constant monitoring has resulted in many actors feeling as though working at Disney pushed them to develop eating disorders. As easy as it is to make fun of Disney adults, which I love doing, and I will continue to do.
They're an easy target.
Like throwing a baseball at the side of a barn. There's nothing inherently wrong with going to the park, often even if you're not the target audience, right? I'm not saying that you can't go and have fun. It's your life, it's your money, you do whatever the fuck you want, all right? But for the love of God, don't get in the way of grown adults doing their job because you want to role play with your favorite character. There are certain parts of the experience that are primarily for children, if not the entire thing is for children. These actors are forced to be pleasant no matter who's talking to them, so don't mistake that for genuine friendship or romantic interest. They may not show that in their face, but you're likely making them extremely uncomfortable. So that's all we have for this week, guys. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
That was a W video. I really couldn't commentate on that. Alright. Last video, guys. The unsolved murder in room 1046. Let's talk in.
This is Randolph Probst. He's a bellboy at the President Hotel in Kansas City. He just got sent to room 1046. The hotel's telephone operator told him that the phone is off the hook. Again. It's the second time he's been sent to the room that day. At 7 a.m., he knocked on the same door for the same reason. From inside the room, a deep voice told him to come in. But when he tried to open the door, it was locked. Assuming the guest was drunk, Probst shouted through the door to put the phone back on the hook and left. But the phone remained off the hook. So at 8:30 a.m., another bellboy, Harold Pike, was sent up to the room. When Pike knocked and tried to enter, he noticed something strange. The door handle turned freely, meaning it was locked from the outside. If it had been locked from the inside, the handle wouldn't have turned at all. So Pike used his passkey to enter the dim room. There, he found a naked man lying on the bed, breathing heavily. There was a dark spot on the sheets next to him, but with the shades drawn, it just looked like a shadow. Pike picked up the knocked-over telephone stand and placed the phone back in the hook. When he left the room, he locked the door from the outside.
You wouldn't at least check up on the guy? I feel like you would have to at least check up on the guy. You'd have to at least see if the guy's okay.
Outside, leaving it just as he had found it. Now it's 11 a.m., and once again, the phone is off the hook.
You think somebody wakes up, takes it off the hook, just so then they can come and wake him up?
Probst knocks 3 times, but there's no answer. So he uses his key and opens the door. Less than a meter in front of him is the naked man, crouching on his knees and elbows with his head in his hands. Probst turns on the light. There's blood everywhere. It's all over the walls, the bed, and the bathroom. The man has a head wound. Frightened, Probst runs out and alerts the assistant manager, Mr. M.S. Weaver. The staff call for a doctor and notify the police. At around 11:15 a.m., the 2 men and another staff member return to the room. But they can only open the door a few inches. It seems the injured guest has collapsed against it from the inside. 15 minutes later, Dr. Harold F. Flanders arrives at the scene. Mr. Weaver, Dr. Flanders, and the bellboy, Pike, enter the room. The guest is no longer blocking the door. Instead, they find him sitting on the edge of the bathtub with his arms and head draped over the sink. Strangely, there's a clothesline tied around his neck, ankles, and wrists. The doctor takes stock of his condition. He's been stabbed in the chest. The wound might have punctured his lung. His skull is fractured on the right side, where he was struck multiple times. And there are bruises around his neck suggesting he's been strangled. Miraculously, the man is still breathing and semi-conscious. The doctor cuts him loose and notes that his wounds aren't fresh. They seem to be at least 6 or 7 hours old. The blood is already dry. According to newspaper reports, when police detective Ira L. Johnson arrives, they ask the wounded man a series of questions.
Who did this, Mr. Owen? Who was in the room with you? Nobody. How did you get these injuries? I fell against the bathtub. Did you try to commit suicide? No.
Following this brief exchange, the man loses consciousness. He's taken to the hospital, but he slips into a coma. Later that night, he dies, taking his killer's identity with him to his grave. The murder is national news. It's called America's Strangest and Perfect Murder Crime. The Kansas City police are stumped.
This case came nearer to being the perfect crime than any other murder Kansas City has seen.
The strange occurrences in the President Hotel have fascinated people for almost a century. A few years ago, the case files were made public for the first time. Some 500 documents contain detailed witness accounts, anonymous phone calls, letters from a dead man, and a mysterious object found in an attic decades later. This is the unsolved murder in room 1046. This video is largely based in the official case files of the Kansas City Police. Some details are based on research conducted by Dr. John Arthur Horner of the Kansas City Public Library, the first to gain access to these files. We also reference the 1943 article Mystery Murder, Room 1046 by the Newcastle Sun. Further sources can be found in the description. Oh, and yes, we fully recreated the room and hallway to bring this story to life for you. It's afternoon.
Yo, the amount of effort that goes into this video is actually insane.
Bellboy Randolph Probst is
I fuck with this. Yo, y'all should actually subscribe to Friend. I'm not gonna lie, I'm subscribing now.
asked to escort a new guest to his room. The guest is Roland T. Owen. He looks young, but his age is hard to guess. He could be anywhere from his early 20s to his mid-30s. He's well-dressed in a black overcoat with a heavy-set build and brown hair. He also has cauliflower ear, giving him the look of a boxer or a wrestler. They take the elevator all the way to the 10th floor. While checking in, the young man had made a very specific request. He asked for a room several floors up with a window that didn't face the street. He's assigned to room 1046. In the elevator, Owen tells Probst that he stayed at the nearby Mulebach Hotel the night before. When they enter the room, Probst turns on the light. He observes Owen taking a brush, comb, and toothpaste out of his overcoat pocket and putting them above the bathroom sink. Strangely, they're the only items he checked in with. As they leave the room, Probst turns off the light, locks the door from the outside, and gives the key to Owen. They ride the elevator down to the lobby together, and Owen leaves the building. Around 40 minutes later, cleaning lady Mary Soptic knocks on the door of room 1046. To her surprise, Owen opens it. She had expected a female guest, so she excuses herself, telling Owen she'll call again later, but he doesn't seem to mind. Entering the room, Soptic notices the blinds are drawn tight. The only light comes from a dim desk lamp. Seeing the expression on Owen's face, she notes that he seems
worried about something or afraid.
As she starts to clean, he puts on his overcoat, goes to the bathroom to comb his hair, and leaves the room. On his way out, he instructs Soptic not to lock the door, as he's expecting a friend in a few minutes. But by the time she leaves, no one else has arrived.
And cut.
Bringing room 1046 to life took quite a lot out of our producer, Mona, and it's tough to wind down after a
This is an ad? Yeah.
note on the desk.
Done.
Listening to whatever's getting you to 10 for 10%. Owen Soptic returns to the room to deliver some fresh towels. The door is unlocked. Owen is lying across the bed in the dark. Walking in, she notices a note on the desk.
Dawn, I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait.
Soptic comes back to clean again the next morning. She unlocks the door and finds Owen inside, sitting alone in the dark. Then a realization hits her.
I realized then, after I had unlocked this door, that the man had been locked in the room from the outside.
If he had locked it from the inside, her key wouldn't have turned in the lock. While she's making the bed, the phone rings. Owen picks up the receiver and says,
"No, Dawn, I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. I just had breakfast."
Before hanging up, he repeats that he isn't hungry. After the call, he asks Soptic about her job and whether she's in charge of the whole floor. He mentions that he recently changed hotels. At around 4 o'clock that afternoon, she returns to deliver fresh towels. But this time, Owen isn't alone. As Soptic approaches the door, she hears 2 men talking in low tones. She knocks on the door.
"Who is it?"
It's the maid. I want to leave some fresh towels.
"No, we don't need any. We've got enough."
Strange, she thinks. She didn't leave any towels in the room that morning. And the only reason the other man might lie is to keep her out of the room. Robert Lane is driving down 13th Street past Lydia Avenue.
Dude, I'm trying to commentate. I'm sorry. This shit is just too interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
When he notices a man running down the street toward him. It's a cold January night, but he's only wearing shoes, trousers, and an undershirt. Waving and shouting, the stranger asks Lane to stop. But when he approaches the car, he realizes his mistake.
"I'm sorry, I thought you were a taxi."
Still, he asks for a ride.
"Will you take me to where I can get a cab?"
Lane agrees, and as the man hops into the back seat, he gets a closer look at him. There's a deep scratch on his left arm, and he's cupping his hands together, as if to catch blood dripping from a more serious wound.
"You look as if you've been in it bad."
The man responds with a grumbled threat to his attacker.
"I'll kill that tomorrow."
The statement sticks in Lane's mind. When they reach the intersection at 12th and Troost, the young man thanks him and jumps out of the car. He runs to a parked taxi, opens the door, and honks the horn, summoning the driver from a nearby restaurant. Elevator operator and stand-in bellboy Charles Blocker is clocking in for his night shift. Shortly
Do you think he knew the cab? Who does that? Who fucking opens
after,
the
a
door?
woman enters the elevator and asks to be taken to the 10th floor. Blocker recognizes her as a commercial woman who often frequents the hotel with different men. She's about 5'6", 135 pounds, with black hair, and she's wearing a black Hudson seal coat with a light strip of fur on the collar.
It's not red hair.
She asks about room 1026, telling Blocker that she's looking for a client, a man who is usually
very prompt in his appointments.
But after a short time, she returns to the elevator, claiming she couldn't find him. Blocker takes her back to the lobby, and she leaves the hotel. After about an hour, she's back. This time, she's accompanied by a man. He's around her height, with a slender build. He's wearing a light brown overcoat, a brown hat, and brown shoes. They ask to be taken up together, this time to the 9th floor. At around 4:15 a.m., the woman returns from the 9th floor and leaves the hotel. 15 minutes later, the man she arrived with follows. On the way down, he complains to Blocker that he couldn't sleep. Then he leaves. It's the middle of the night, and hotel guest Jean Owen is lying awake in her room 1048. She's trying to sleep, but the noises coming from the room next door are keeping her up. She can hear multiple voices sounding both male and female. They're talking loudly and swearing. It's so loud, in fact, that she considers calling the front desk, but she decides against it. Eventually, she falls asleep. When she wakes up at 8 a.m., it's quiet. She eats breakfast and checks out, unaware that in the room next to hers, only a few hours later, a man will be found inches from death. Kansas City police detectives Ira L. Johnson and William E. Eldridge are at a loss. They've finished interviewing all the witnesses they could find, but their statements have led to more questions than answers. The front desk ledger at the President Hotel shows the victim signed in as Roland T. Owen from Los Angeles. But when they checked the ledger at the Mulebach Hotel, where he told staff he had previously stayed, he was signed in as Eugene K. Scott. The detectives contacted authorities in Los Angeles, but neither name could be found in any records. They're fake identities.
Damn.
They also pursued another lead, that the victim was a professional wrestler. A week after the man's death, a wrestling promoter from Arkansas named Tony Bernardi came to identify the body. At Melody McGilly Funeral Home, Bernardi positively identified the man as one who had approached him weeks earlier for work. According to John Horner, the name he had given was Cecil Werner, another alias leading to another dead end.
That's crazy.
Based on the accounts of the hotel's maiden bellboy, someone clearly locked the victim in his room. Was he being held prisoner? The Newcastle Sun claims that Owen likely didn't have the key
What the fuck is this?
to his room,
It keeps just counting up.
as it wasn't found there after his death. And this wasn't the only thing that was missing. All of the victim's clothing, his toiletries, and the knife he was stabbed with had disappeared. Anything that could help the police identify him. According to Horner, all that was left behind was an odd collection of items: a necktie label, a hairpin, a safety pin, an unlit cigarette, and a small unopened bottle of diluted sulfuric acid. The only other clue the detectives found in the room were fingerprints on the telephone stand, likely a woman's. Possibly the same woman Jean heard arguing with two men on the night of the murder. It's plausible they were left there by the prostitute seen by the elevator operator, but she was never seen entering the room. Then there's the man she was with. Was it the same man who had been in the room earlier, talking quietly with Owen? Could that be Don, the man that he had talked to on the phone? The one that the note was for? Did they really have business on the 9th floor? Or did they take the stairs one floor up to avoid being seen entering the 10th floor via the elevator? Were they both present when Owen was bound and stabbed? After all, the doctor had estimated that his wounds were 6 to 7 hours old when he was found. This would mean that they were inflicted in the middle of the night, and that the victim had already been wounded when the bellboys came knocking that morning. But when the detective asked who had hurt him, the victim simply said,
"Nobody."
Was he afraid? Delirious from his brain injury? Or was he maybe trying to protect his attacker? The account from Robert Lane, the driver, adds to the confusion. According to Horner, the detectives had him identify the body in the morgue, and Lane claimed that Owen was, in fact, the man he had given a ride to. But the detectives didn't think it was possible for the young man to leave the hotel and return dressed in his underwear. Not without somebody in the lobby spotting him. At the end of the day, the detectives have nothing. No murder weapon, no murderer, not even the victim's identity. Without any actionable leads, the investigation grinds to a halt. But then the strange calls start.
Anonymous phone call.
This is Mr. McGilly. He's the undertaker at the Melody McGilly Funeral Home, where the body of Roland T. Owen has been on display for around 3 months. During this time, thousands of people stop by in the hopes of identifying the body, without any luck. Since no family member or relative has come forward to claim it, the time has come to bury the body in a mass grave reserved for the poor and the anonymous. But first, an obituary for the unknown man is published in the Kansas City Journal-Post. Horner claims that shortly after, Mr. McGilly receives an anonymous phone call. The man on the other end makes a simple request.
Don't bury Owen in a pauper's grave.
Instead, he asks that Owen be buried in Memorial Park Cemetery. He assures the undertaker,
I will send funds to cover the funeral expenses.
The caller explains that Owen
jilted a girl he'd promised to marry.
He claims to have witnessed this, and that the three of them held a
little meeting
at the President Hotel.
Who is this? I'll have to report this to the police.
Unconcerned, the man simply responds,
That's all right, Mr. McGilly.
He says one last thing before hanging up.
Owen hadn't played the game fair, and cheaters usually get what's coming to them.
Meanwhile, the editor of the Journal-Post also receives a phone call, but this time, the caller is a woman. She tells the editor that the story in the paper is wrong.
Roland Owen will not be buried in a pauper's grave. Arrangements have been made for his funeral.
Who are you? Who's calling?
Never mind. I know what I'm talking about.
What happened to Owen at the hotel?
He got into a jam.
Just as the man on the first call promised Mr. McGilly, 20 days later, the funeral home receives a special delivery. A letter carefully addressed using a pen and ruler. Enclosed is $25 in cash. And this isn't the only anonymous delivery. 13 American Beauty roses are sent to the funeral. The florist who delivers them is instructed to include a card.
So do you think he's like a CIA agent or part of the mafia or something? There should be like some type of organization that's behind this that can anonymously send out flowers and money. Because there's no way, bro.
It contains just the words,
Love forever, Louise.
Roland T. Owen is buried in Memorial Park Cemetery instead of in a pauper's grave. Police detectives are the only pallbearers. Expecting the man or Louise to show up, other officers disguise themselves as gravediggers and watch the cemetery for days. In the end, no one shows up to the funeral. No one visits the grave. The phone calls and the cash deliveries are impossible to trace. Despite a new theory being pushed in newspapers that this was a lover's quarrel gone wrong, the investigators don't buy it. They're once again at a loss. For almost 2 years, the trail goes cold, until a certain woman randomly stumbles on a curious newspaper article titled The Mystery of Room Number 1046. This is Ruby Ogletree. She's looking at an article published in the American Weekly in May 1935. The article features a photo of a dead man, a man she recognizes immediately. The scar on his head is unmistakable. She remembers him getting it from a grease burn as a child. It's her son, Artemis Ogletree, who at the time of his death was only 17 years old. The article claims he was murdered over a year ago in January. The question is, if her son is really dead, then who's been writing to her all this time?
Damn. See, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, dude. He's part of like the mafia or something. There's no way.
April of 1934, Artemis left his hometown of
the CIA or something, bro. Something.
Birmingham, Alabama to hitchhike across the country with a friend named Joe Simpson. In late January 1935, Ruby receives a letter from her son. It's been a few weeks since he last wrote. His previous letters were always simple, telling her about his latest job prospects, his next destination, and the friends he was traveling with.
I think that fellow I told you about was going to open a business and give me half interest in it, has definitely made up his mind to open in the spring. He's about the best friend I have. He has a big Cadillac. We are going to Excelsior Springs next week in it.
Artemis always wrote by hand. His writing was straightforward, with little exaggeration and few flourishes. But this letter is different. Ruby notices that it was written using a typewriter. As far as she knows, her son never learned how to type, but the letter says otherwise.
I still practice on the typewriter when I get a chance. The big typewriter companies have branches in all large towns where you can practice all you want to.
It's plausible that he could have learned, but it does strike her as suspicious. Reading the letter further, she finds out about his grand plans to head to New York, inspired by a conversation with a sailor.
I was talking to a fellow the other day. He just got back from Europe, worked his way across and back on a big freighter.
He implies that he wants to travel the world and head for Europe, but first he has to make it to New York. Conveniently, he gets a chance to do just that.
A man wants me to drive him and his family to New York.
The letter ends with a strange handwritten postscript.
P.S. Don't worry about Artemis. Sorry to learn he's not coming home. Lem.
Ruby receives the next letter several weeks later, this time from New York. Apparently, Artemis had driven the man, who he now identifies as Mr. Jordan, to the city. Jordan then helped him get a job, but it didn't work out. What stands out most to her is the letter's outlandish detail and unusual slang.
I got poisoned on something I ate at some dump. I was laid up for a few days, and my stomach pained me a lot, but I finally got over that. Then I caught the flu and had to go to bed for almost 9 weeks, and I guess I was pretty sick.
This is inconsistent. Elsewhere, he claims to have only been in New York for 6 weeks. After making excuses for not writing sooner, Artemis expands on his plans to work on a freighter.
I think that I'll be leaving here in a few days to go on across the big pond. I understand it takes almost a month to get across, and maybe a few more weeks to unload the ship at different ports.
He includes the address of a post office in Paris, telling his mother to send her letters to him there.
I sure want to see Paris, so I'll be heading that way all the time.
But shortly after, Ruby receives another letter from New York.
Well, I joined the freighter for the trip across, and they have put me to work already.
Confirming his departure, he clarifies one last detail.
I decided not to send my heavy coat home.
In the previous letter, he had written that he might send his winter clothes home to her. It's a curious detail. A coat also disappeared from the scene of the crime. The signature in this final letter is once again typewritten. Artemis. Ruby Ogletree doesn't hear from her son for another 4 months. Then, one day in August, she receives a phone call from a man with a familiar name, Mr. Godfrey Jordan. Ruby has a 45-minute phone call with her son's mysterious benefactor. Jordan tells her that he's just left Artemis in Cairo, Egypt, where they had met while Jordan was traveling through the Holy Land. Another inconsistency. Mr. Jordan supposedly met Artemis in New York. Now he's claiming they met somewhere halfway around the world. According to him, the two formed a life-and-death bond when Artemis saved him from a band of thugs. To repay him, Jordan says he gave Artemis money and arranged for his passage home through Paris and London. The Newcastle Sun reports that he also claimed Artemis married a wealthy woman in Cairo and was doing well. Conveniently, he even has an explanation for the typewritten letters. Apparently, Artemis lost his right thumb during the fight for Jordan's life. Because of this injury, he could no longer hold a pen to write. This also doesn't make much sense. Why would he have started typing in New York even though he only lost his thumb in Cairo? Ruby is understandably alarmed by the call. Jordan assures her that Artemis is fine and will be home for Christmas. He urges her not to worry about not hearing from her son. But she doesn't buy it. The story simply seems too outlandish, so she begins an investigation of her own. First, she contacts the American Consul General in Cairo. She details her call with Jordan and asks them to find her son. The consul replies a few weeks later. They are unable to find any trace of him. Then she writes to the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, asking for any information. 10 days later, Hoover replies. A search of the Bureau files has failed to disclose any information about her son. She also writes to the Department of State to inquire about Artemis's passport. No record is found of such a document ever being issued to him, meaning legally he couldn't have traveled to Egypt. Making no progress with her inquiries, she has one last hope, that her son will make his way home for Christmas. But despite Jordan's promise, Artemis never shows up. Desperate, Ruby makes a last-ditch effort to find her son. She sends a letter to the president, Franklin D. Roosevelt. It contains a photo, a description, and a mother's plea.
I fear he has fallen into the hands of some gang, or something has happened to him. I simply must find some trace of him.
Her letter to the White House is forwarded to the FBI. 8 days later, she again receives a response from FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover.
Please be advised that this photograph is being retained in the files here for future reference. Regarding your son, you'll be promptly notified.
The picture she sent isn't linked to the murder in Kansas City. Things don't fall into place for Ruby until she sees her dead son in that article 10 months later.
That's crazy.
The identification of Roland T. Owen as Artemis Ogletree breathes new life into the investigation. With the victim's real name, the detectives are able to retrace his steps. They discovered that for several months he had stayed at a third place in Kansas City, the St. Regis Hotel. There, he checked in with a companion, a man who signed the register as Donald Kelso, presumably the Don. In 1937, there finally seems to be a break in the case. A man is arrested in New York. A career criminal who is known to have used Donald Kelso as an alias before. A man who served time in a psychiatric ward in Artemis's hometown of Birmingham, Alabama. A man convicted of a murder in New York that had striking similarities to the Ogletree killing. According to a New Yorker article from 1938, he had shot his roommate, dismembered him, and attempted to ship the nude body to Memphis in a steamer truck. His real name is Joseph Ogden. Police Chief Otto Higgins decides that the cases have too many things in common for it to be a coincidence. To prove the connection, the police send samples of Joseph Ogden's handwriting in the hotel register to the FBI. But the tests are inconclusive. Still, Chief Higgins is convinced that Ogden is the killer. In the minds of the police, the murder is solved.
We have the picture of Joseph Ogden and are satisfied that he is the man known to us as Don Kelso. And the letters written to his mother All check.
You might call it a mother's intuition. Ruby Ogletree doesn't believe Ogden is her son's killer. To her, the letters and the phone call she received were too personal. They didn't seem like the work of a random gangster, but somebody who knew her son intimately. Someone like his friend Joe Simpson. And Ruby has mentioned her suspicions about Simpson to the police before.
Mrs. Ogletree does not know of anyone her son left Birmingham with except Joe Simpson.
But the detectives have already corresponded with Simpson by letter. He claimed that he traveled with Artemis to Los Angeles, where they split up, never to meet again. Less than a month after Higgins writes that he's satisfied Ogden is the killer, Ruby writes to him again, urging him to look into Simpson.
I really do believe Joe Simpson can give us some real information, if you could only make him talk.
But the detectives ignore her suspicions. In their eyes, his alibi doesn't warrant further investigation. So Ruby continues her investigation alone, determined to find an answer. Her first lead is a letter Joe Simpson had sent after it became public knowledge that Artemis was the victim in the mysterious murder in room 1046. In it, he told the same story he had presented to the police.
I was horrified to read of the atrocious slaying of your son. Artemis was a good boy, and I'm sure he wasn't involved in anything illegitimate. If there's anything I can do to aid in the solving of this case, I will be very glad to help.
This thoughtful gesture also contained an interesting postscript.
P.S. Artemis and I left Birmingham alone, only two of us.
If true, this means that Simpson was the only person on record to have seen Artemis alive before he re-emerged under different aliases in Kansas City. Ruby becomes even more suspicious when she finds out Simpson had failed to visit her while in Birmingham for work. He'd promised to do so multiple times. Clearly, he's avoiding her for some reason. She wants to speak to him face to face, so she hunts him down. Ruby, her husband, and a friend track Simpson to the house of one of his friends, Bill Hogan. Simpson's car is parked in the street, so Mr. Ogletree goes to look for him, leaving his wife and her friend behind. It takes over an hour for Joe and his friend Bill to come outside. All five sit in the Ogletree's cramped car together.
I said to Joe, well, 5 years are a long time for one to keep trying to see one. I had been told he did not intend to see me at all.
Joe tells Ruby that he had only avoided seeing her because he was afraid she would cry. It seems to her that Joe answers her questions very carefully. Mostly, he claims not to remember. But a few key things stand out to her. The first is Simpson's voice and speech patterns. During her call with Godfrey Jordan, she had noticed a specific verbal tic. He repeatedly prefaced his sentences with,
"You see,"
or,
"You see, it's like this."
Sitting in the car now, Joe says something that sets alarm bells ringing.
"You see, Artemis told me he wanted to go to Africa."
Right after, his friend Bill corrects him, saying,
"Egypt."
Why would he correct him? Was it a slip-up? And how would these boys know about the Egypt lie she was told on the phone? The longer she hears his voice, the more confident she becomes. Finally, she confronts Joe directly.
I looked Joe square in the eyes and I told him I would know the voice that talked to me from Memphis.
Sitting closely together in the car, his physical reaction is difficult to hide.
He turned red, dropped his eyes, and was nervous.
When the investigation comes up, she notes a curious shift in Joe's demeanor. She says that Kansas City's chief of police called the murder in room 1046 the perfect crime. At that, Joe seems to become cocky. He laughs and says,
"It is. They'll never get the ones who killed him."
Mirth is a strange reaction to your friend's death. Ruby then mentions that her son was found nude, without any of his clothes or even his shoes. Once again, Joe just laughs and says,
"They were mine."
He goes on to explain that he and Artemis had gotten kicked out of a hotel and slept in a park together. There, Artemis's shoes were stolen off his feet. The claim raises questions about the story that they had parted ways in LA, because Ruby remembers a crucial detail. Artemis had wired her about buying a new pair, and the wire had been sent from Kansas City, Missouri. If Joe remembers Artemis needing new shoes, it's likely the boys were together in Kansas City. Then Joe implies that he couldn't have been with Artemis because he was in high school during that time in 1935. But Ruby sees in the school's records that Joe was expelled for poor attendance on January 2, 1935, the same day Artemis checked into the President Hotel. The records also show that Joe had been absent from school for a total of 21.5 days, meaning that he also could have been absent in the days before the murder. Finally, Joe claims to have stayed in touch with Artemis after they split up. He promises Ruby he'll send her a letter he received from Artemis, a letter he claims
was badly typed.
Ruby knows all the letters Artemis would have sent while he was with Joe were handwritten. The letters she'd received from the imposter after her son's death weren't public knowledge. Why does Joe claim that Artemis used a typewriter? Did he receive a letter from the same imposter? Or is he himself the imposter?
In talking with the boy, Joe Simpson, I was reasonably convinced that he is the person that talked to me 7 months after my son was killed.
Ruby never receives a letter from Joe after their meeting. When he fails to deliver on his promise, she writes up their entire conversation in detail and reports it to the Kansas City Police Department. But Joe is never prosecuted for the murder of her son. More than a decade passes. The murder in room 1046 is still unsolved. Then, in 1950, the FBI analyzes the handwriting samples from Joseph Ogden and Don Kelso again. This time, they come to a definitive conclusion. The handwriting doesn't match.
You know, I've always wondered, how do police just like randomly, this is more than a decade later, they just randomly grab this file and try to see something within it?
Ogden was most likely not the killer. Donald Kelso is never identified. The case goes cold once again, until a final mysterious phone call is made, over 50 years later. Dr. John Horner is a researcher and librarian at the Kansas City Public Library. He claims that one day he receives an anonymous phone call from out of state. The caller recounts clearing out the possessions of an elderly person who had recently died. Among the things they found was a box. Inside was a collection of newspaper clippings about the murder of Roland T. Owen. But there's more. The box also contained something mentioned in the newspaper stories. Horner asks what the item is, but the caller refuses to identify it. Without giving their name, the caller hangs up and disappears.
Damn, bro.
And Ruby refuses to identify it. Without giving their name, the caller hangs up and disappears.
Yo, W video, bro. That's crazy. The dedication to build a realistic set to tell a story is exactly why Fern has always been an amazing channel. Extreme respect to the team behind these videos. Yeah. The most haunting part of the mystery isn't just the unsolved mystery, but how many clues seem to vanish exactly when we get close to the truth. The bellboy has absolutely no situational awareness whatsoever. Yeah. I'm walking alone on the street when I reach... What the hell? I didn't see this. I'm walking alone on the road when I reach home. Me and my squad are pulling up heavy to your next stream. Add me and my Discord username. What? Bro, what? But he wants to add me to add him? No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go though. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream. The stream got cut into like 3 different streams for some